Hey, can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Till the early for the yams. Don't even no friends that they're going every time. Yeah. For some starters that can do it all the time. Oh, the yams are all I know. I feel the risen destruction. It's sending me so to the world. Can I get to the yams? Trying to get to the bands. My in my pockets in with a weather the pen. Something about them yams I just don't understand. And I'm telling them, can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah.
Extreme Low-Cal Wrestling proudly presents Monday Night KliqBait Wrestling. What is going on, people? This be your boy Smith, as always joined by my North American thick boy tag team partner, the other half of the ELW World Tag Team Champions, Matsu 22.
Let's go.
And we got a good show here tonight. We got a good show for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, it's Monday, so that means we will be watching Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go over this past weekend's Elimination Chamber in Australia. And we'll be talking about AEW's Revolution coming this Sunday. But other than that, it's wrestling time.
The best time.
Well, Gojira, I gotta play the best Gundam song for the best Gundam show. But yeah, I guess we could just start jumping right into Elimination Chamber, because
Yeah, I thought it was pretty mid, if I'm being honest.
I mean, fine show. You had 5 matches on the card if you include the kickoff match, and I mean it was fine. The women's Elimination Chamber match was okay. Becky Lynch walked away with the win, as most people kind of predicted that she would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the most part, it was decent. I mean, Tiffany Stratton, she put on kind of a decent performance. Very over with the crowd. Liv Morgan sucks as always, but somehow people still like her.
Yeah, did you see the whole, we want Liv thing going around on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. People are stupid.
Yeah, it's not like... Here's the problem. Notice the one thing, though, that's... I wish never happened, but because it did, it's always kind of gonna be the catalyst and the excuse for others, and that's the rise of the Yes Movement and Daniel Bryan. You know, because yes, that was an organic thing where, yes, people wanted Daniel Bryan, and WWE was trying to do everything in their power not to give people the thing they actually wanted. So, you know, the people spoke. But now, ever since that happened, now everybody thinks that they could do this for every wrestler. And it's like, not every wrestler's goddamn Daniel Bryan's.
Yeah.
Okay? The reason he got that kind of attention at that time is because he was a talented wrestler who wasn't getting his just due based off of actual physical appearance.
Yeah.
But then we try to do this for other people, and they try to do the thing like with Cody. They try to do the thing with Liv, and it's like, first off, Liv's not Daniel Bryan. Hell, Liv's not even Cody fucking Rhodes.
And let's not forget that the time of like the Yes movement, like they had also just 2 months earlier lost CM Punk, so it was like they needed a new top guy. They needed to create a new top guy to take Punk's spot, and Daniel Bryan was the only likely candidate.
Yeah.
So it's again, it's like, yeah, like Daniel Bryan was the right guy at the right time.
But I'm like, Liv Morgan's not on that same echelon. She's not even that good in the ring to be warranted that. Like I said, the vocal majority of those who are actually like, we want Liv, are a bunch of fucking actual sense. Bunch of sense.
That's all it is. I don't care.
And newsflash to those
I will
simps out
die
there.
on this hill.
Newsflash to the simps out there. Out of the females on this roster, WWE, Liv's not even the hottest one. Liv's not even the hottest one. Hell, Maurice showing up from time to time still blows her out the water.
It's like I think it's like people's fantasy of Liv, like it's like people's fantasy where they think like, oh, like, yeah, like Liv, you know, like she looks like so cool, like she looks like punk rock, and you know, she wears like mini skirts, and oh, she's got that like punk rock vibe. I bet she plays video games and watches anime and does all that stuff that I do, cause she dresses like she works part-time at Hot Topic.
But this is like enough of this. Like enough of this trying to get people over who are not even good. Like Rhea Ripley's the exception. She was good from the jump. She just needed to find her groove. But once you found her groove,
absolutely,
it's on and popping now. And again, like I said, like there are hotter women. I find Rhea Ripley way more attractive than Liv Morgan.
By far.
By far. And that's with or without the makeup on. Like, if you see her without a makeup, she's still a stunner.
Like the thing is like Liv's attractive and stuff, no doubt about it.
But she's average. So the fact that people are sitting there trying to simp for her is like, you mean to tell me out of the entire roster, like hell, I'd expect this kind of energy from maybe a Tiffany Stratton, because Tiffany Stratton's a stunner too. More of a stunner than fucking Liv.
Like, I don't know, to me, Liv is not any more attractive than like Alexa Bliss or like a Tiffany Stratton. Like, I don't know, to me she's just another blonde with huge tits in the
Liv
land
don't even got
of
the huge
blondes
tits,
with
so
huge
she's
tits.
already beating her with that.
There you go.
And let's keep it to the wrestling thing. Tiffany Stratton's way better wrestler than Liv Morgan is.
A lot of people are a better wrestler than Liv Morgan
I'm
is,
pulling
let's be
Tiffany
honest.
Stratton's name specifically since she's kind of the new girl of the bunch. And she's leaps and bounds better than Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan's been around for how long now? And she's still wrestling like a snail? While Tiffany's over there
she's been around a
small-timing
while.
off the fucking chamber pod?
Yeah, she's been around a long time.
Yeah.
She almost gives me like Dana Brooke vibes.
Yeah, no improvement.
Worse.
No improvement. You've been here forever.
Yeah,
no improvement.
like no improvement. like no improvement. Like she's been there forever, but yet she never gets any better. The only thing that ever evolves with Liv is that she'll change she'll change her ring gear to show off like slightly more skin. Like now it's like, like now she's kind of got her whole ass cheeks hanging out. And I think that's like all it is. Like that's where her popularity comes from, because you can't tell me her popularity is because people think she's a great wrestler.
No.
Because newsflash, she's not. And like her finish is like the dumbest finish in by far in all of pro wrestling.
It's the
like,
worst kind of finisher too, man. It's the kind of finisher that relies that the opponent be in a certain spot for it to actually be effective.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me I gotta make sure someone's hanging on the ropes for me to do my thing? I should be able to do that on a full stand. In fact, someone already did it. It's called R-Truth. That's his finisher.
Yeah, except R-Truth doesn't need to rely on the ropes to do it.
No, he does it on a full stand.
Exactly. Like he can hit that. He can hit that shit from anywhere.
Like, I know you tried to do it off the ropes to make it seem kind of catchy and a little bit unique than others, but then you find yourself in that dilemma of now you have to literally, an opponent has to be in that position for this whole thing to work. And then that's when wrestling gets kind of hokey. Now you'll see the person like, uh-oh, they're getting in position. Looks like she's about to try to do her finisher because now now the opponent's teed up for you. Instead of it just being kind of organic where they're just standing like Randy Orton. Randy Orton fucking hit that RKO on Logan Paul out of nowhere. Didn't see it coming because proper camera angles, and plus it was just in a stationary position. But because it's the RKO and you can just hit it out of nowhere, it looks better than say if the RKO needed to be set off the ropes. Then what? Logan Paul's gonna parade and then go over there and go hang out at the ropes for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like your move is like counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. Get a better one, but her moveset's slow anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I said, man, I think it's
Benjamin, the pay dirt.
I think it's that perception of Liv that people think like I don't know, man. It's like people think she's like. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like people think that she's like that. She's like that. I bet she likes all the like
girl.
geeky
Like
stuff.
she'll hang out with you if she met you on the street. Like she's that girl. But But it's probably the opposite where if she saw you on the street, she's going the other way.
Like it's like, like that, like she gives off that vibe of like, like I would ask Liv Morgan for a date, and then she would just come over to my house and we would eat pizza and watch Game of Thrones, and I bet she'd be okay with that. Like she just gives off like that vibe, and I think it's all the thirsty boys are kind of like that's what they're kind of into, And she gives off that
like,
vibe.
well, she fucked with Enzo, so if she's fucking with Enzo, that means I got a chance.
Yeah.
It's that mindset of like, if she's willing to date this level of man, I'm only like one step below him because I don't have the money, but I'm not a complete I'm not Enzo. But it's like, but again, like I said, it's that for me. It's the thing of like, she's cute, she's an attractive woman, but it's like she's not the end all be all. And the fact that y'all are sitting there trying to make her a thing is like, listen, if WWE really wanted to make her a thing, they put the machine on her. Guess what? They did. She won the Money in the Bank. She won the SmackDown Women's Championship, and her title reign was so nothing. I bet you a lot of you probably forgot about it. Bet you a lot of people forgot about it already. She cashed in and won it, and her reign was that forgettable.
And let's not forget she cashed in on Ronda Rousey, which, if we look at Ronda Rousey, she's not taking a lot of L's.
Yeah, so they put the machine on her. They put the machine on her so much that when they realized that, oh shit, she can't wrestle, They took it off of her
And
quickly.
and what did they do? What did they do? They put it right back on Ronda. Like they put it right back on Ronda Rousey. Like, let's just pretend this never happened.
Like
Yeah, I don't know, man.
An actual blink and you missed it.
I do not see the appeal in Liv Morgan. Like, I don't see why. I do see why people are. I do see why people are so behind her. But it's just like, again, I'm not a simp. Like, I'm not a thirsty boy. So it's kind of like, for me, she has no appeal. And then again, I don't even think she's a good wrestler.
All right, so it looks like we got Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller tonight, based off of what happened.
Oh, geez, I wonder who's gonna win that match.
Oh yeah, shocker, right? New Day versus Imperium in a street fight tonight.
It's whatever.
Yeah,
I'm kind of over this. I'm kind of over this New Day and Imperium thing.
Yeah, because there's no stakes at the end of this. Like, no one's getting a title shot or nothing after this. It's literally a feud.
Again, I don't want
to have a feud, but nobody gets anything out of the deal.
It's like I say it every week. I don't want to be a martyr about it, but it's like, again, this is why, you know, we kind of need to have separate tag titles. But I digress. Yeah, it's just kind of a nothing feud, and they've already faced each other a number of times. Like, I don't know how many times do they need to fight before their grievances are just settled? Like, how many times do they need to fight, you know?
I guess not enough. And plus, now we got Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, which wasn't that the main event of last week's Raw?
Yeah, it's again copy and paste. Just this Raw, we're just seeing the same things we saw last.
The main event of last week's Raw opens this week's Raw.
Yep.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so back to Elimination Chamber. Yeah, like we said, Becky Lynch walked away with the win. I mean, the finish
Who else could it have
the
been?
finish
Like,
was kind of but like they got it out. They did what they had to do. Then we got to the what was the next match after that? We got the tag team title match with Judgment Day taking on, what are they calling them? They got a name. Something catch crew. Yeah. Something, I don't know. It's very confusing because they have a faction in NXT that's also called like the Catch Club or something. Yeah, but that crew's never gonna go anywhere, so they don't care.
No. Absolutely not. But Ian says New Catch Republic.
Thank you, Ian. Yes, New Catch Republic. Yeah, that crew in NXT.
That's a dumb name.
They're not going anywhere in NXT. So, other than the back in the back of the Boweries in that fucking hall, that's all you ever see them is hanging out in the dark rooms.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's kind of hard.
It was a decent match with the Judgment Day. Again, if they're gonna give them a tag team name, I'm gonna need y'all to wear matching attires, please. At least color coordinate. Color coordinate. If you're gonna get a name, I need some organization in your ring gear. No one's saying you gotta be matching. Just be color coordinated. You know, you want the singlet, you want the tights. All right, be the same color. Be the same color.
It's fine. It's a title match for the sake of a title match, which I guess is fine. Like, I'd rather have a title match than not. But again, like, because we know it really seems like it's obviously gonna be Awesome Truth and Judgment Day at WrestleMania. So admittedly, I never really felt like the titles were in danger. So when the titles don't feel in danger, it sort of takes away all the fun of a title match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fine.
But
Like, it was
it was still a
fine.
decent
It
match
was
either
just
way, though.
it was just it was just a tag team match. Like, it wasn't exceptionally good. It wasn't like bad. It was just mid. It was just a tag. It was just it was a tag team match.
Like
It was fine.
they
It
could have
was
had
okay.
this match on Raw, SmackDown, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Again, like, if they had, again, I'm going back to the separate tag titles. If it's a thing where, like, let's say they were only defending the SmackDown titles, I'd be like, okay, maybe they'll beat them for the SmackDown titles, and that's how they split the tag belts, and then it'll be Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth for the Raw tag team titles, and then the SmackDown titles will do something else. But admittedly, they're already in a feud with Awesome Truth that seems like it's gonna go to WrestleMania. So, like, I knew that we knew the titles weren't changing hands here.
Yeah. But then we had the whole Grayson Waller effect, which I'll be dead ass honest. I checked out of all of that because, like, I heard that shit was like that shit ate up a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I watched it like when I got home from work, and I totally fast forwarded that, so I can't tell you anything about that segment because I did not watch any part of it.
Well, from the
It
most
didn't look
part,
like it didn't look like anything happened, right?
basically, like Cody was like he challenged The Rock for something. Then they basically Seth and Cody beat up on Austin Theory, and it ends. But they just wasted a lot of fucking time, just a lot of fucking time.
Mhm.
Almost an hour, most people say. I didn't clock it myself, but most people say that segment was about an hour, which I almost believe.
That's yeah. I'm not surprised.
Because then after that came the men's elimination chamber, which was fine. McIntyre walks away with the win. He's going to Mania to face Rollins. I mean, we've kind of set up something
Yeah.
with possibly, I guess. Well, we know AJ Styles came all the way out to Australia just to screw over LA Knight, which was like, I guess if you're gonna try to find a way to keep the guy strong, that's the way you do it, you know? Because
Yeah.
how else do you keep momentum on a guy if he loses in the chamber, right? So it's like he didn't lose, AJ Styles made him lose.
Yeah.
So it doesn't damper his momentum of loss and not being treated like a big deal. But then it also transitions him into a program with AJ Styles for the meantime. Which is kind of bummer because both men should be in the main event scene, and yet they're gonna piddle in the lower mid card for Mania.
It se- it seems kind of especially unfortunate for LA Knight because again,
Well, yeah, it felt
this
like
is a
an hour
thing
ago,
where
Jared.
like
Like I said, it felt like forever.
like it's a thing where we saw it with Zack Ryder, and we saw it with Dolph Ziggler. Like, LA Knight is super over right now. Like, they should be he should have some kind of, like, he should be going for the US title at WrestleMania. Like, now is the time they should be capitalizing on it, because the more he just keeps losing, and the more he just keeps getting thrown into these nothing environments where he doesn't win, the more shine is gonna come off of him. And right now, like, he's super over, and ever since he took that loss to Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, the shine has been coming off more and more. And I think that they really need to capitalize. Like, he should be he should be going for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Not, no offense, like nothing against AJ Styles. Not that AJ's not a top caliber, not a top tier guy, not a top guy, but he should be going for the U.S. title at this point.
Yeah.
Because the longer they don't do anything with him, the longer people are just gonna lose interest. It's just gonna be like a Zack Ryder thing, and it's just gonna be a Dolph Ziggler. Like we've seen it so many times where you can only kind of get behind someone so much, and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, shit, the company's not gonna do anything with this guy, so whatever. Let's just move on.
Yeah. And we also kind of set up a whole thing with, I guess now it's the thing like the Owens Logan Paul thing kind of continues, but now kind of seems like we're gonna throw Randy Orton in the mix.
Yeah, that's weird too. I kind of wonder if Logan Paul's gonna drop the U.S. title before Mania, because it seems kind of weird to have Randy. It seems like it's obviously gonna be Randy and Logan Paul. Like it seems like that's the direction we're gonna go, but it just seems weird to see Randy Orton challenging for the U.S. title again.
Yeah, but we still got Kevin Owens in the mix though, so it's not like a one-on-one situation here where it's like the issues between Owens and Paul hasn't been resolved. But like I said, now we're throwing Orton into that dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, so it makes me wonder:
we talking a triple threat here for the U.S. title?
Yeah, makes me wonder: is it gonna be like a? I think maybe it's gonna be a triple threat, because then, yeah, like what else does Kevin Owens do at this point? You know?
Yeah, because like I said,
like he doesn't got
he
anything
just can't
else
move on
going
to
on.
someone else. He's still in the middle of shit with Logan.
And again, like he's gotta. You know, he's got to get his he's got to get his payback on Logan, right? Like he's got to get some form of payback.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like maybe
Randy's gonna want to come up
it'll be like a triple threat.
He cost him the match by dusting him with the knucklers after the fact when he was eliminated. So, you know. And of course, like I said, McIntyre came away with the win, which I would have rather it been someone else, but like I said, everybody seemed to be accounted for something kinda to do. Like I said, like Bobby, he kinda got taken out fairly early within it. And what's his name? In like LA Knight, like they fairly got taken out early within the match.
Yeah, it's almost like they made it a point. It's almost like they made it a point to kind of get them out early.
Yeah, so they could kind of focus more on like Owens, Logan, Orton, and like, you know, McIntyre's just kind of like the extra.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm like, I really don't want to see McIntyre versus Rollins again, but I guess this is what it is.
I don't. Yeah, me neither. Like, I think I think Rollins has just beat him too many times, you know? If I had to take a guess, though, if I had to take a guess, I would say McIntyre takes the title off of Rollins.
And then Damian cashes.
And then, no, I think what'll happen is McIntyre will hold the title until Punk comes back, and then Punk will take the title off McIntyre.
I feel like more cash-in will happen because this is a match no one really wants to see, and I don't think WWE wants to take that chance and ride on waiting for Punk to get back. Because it'll probably be bigger if like, okay, let's just say, depending on the day of what they do what, they have a match somewhere where Damian and Balor lose the tag titles, right? Pick whoever tag team at this point, whatever. They lose the titles, and then this is kind of now like the crumbling of the Judgment Day a little bit. Or better yet, it'll be Miz and Truth. Miz and Truth take the tag titles. So this starts the beginning of the crumbling of the Judgment Day for the weekend. Because you know Rhea's going to probably lose her title to Becky.
Yeah.
So something happens with, that, and the only saving grace is Damian gets to cash in on McIntyre to become world champion. Remember, the world title's on Raw. And the Judgment Day's on Raw. So
yeah,
that'll make it even that much easier for them to kind of extradite him, or he extradites someone else. More than likely, it'll be him getting extradited, because they'll probably put the blame on him for Truth, because he's the only one that kind of tolerated Truth for most of the arc of this story. If you remember,
they're gonna have to do, like, Priest is gonna have to cash in soon. Like, they're gonna have
and
to
I would think
figure out what they're
WrestleMania
doing with Priest
would be the good opportunity, seeing as how, like, McIntyre Rollins is not a draw match. No one's really wanting to see this. I don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
It's just, again, it's just, this is what WWE does so often. It's just that.
But I feel this is an opportune moment. This is that moment for, like, okay, even though, like, you know how you like to say, we got to eat our vegetables. So, yeah, we're going to eat our vegetables by watching the match. But the good part of the meal will be that at the end of the day, Rollins or McIntyre won't walk out of here with that world title. It'll be the guy with the money in the bank. It'll be Priest. And more people will be more accepting that Priest walk out of here, WrestleMania world champion, than McIntyre or Rollins retaining. Because I'd be a lot happier if you told me by the end of the night Damian Priest is the world heavyweight champion and it's not McIntyre or Rollins, I'm a happy man. And
again, I think either way. I think either way, it's just whoever wins is just holding the title until Punk comes back.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I think. I think that's the end game. But yeah.
Here's the thing. McIntyre's already an established main event guy, so having him get shitted on Mania by Priest would just set up now a feud between him and Damian Priest. Now, if you want to sit there and say, well, we want to see McIntyre versus Punk when he returns, you can still have that. You just don't got to have a run of McIntyre as World Heavyweight Champion. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. He don't got to sit here and be champion for 6-something months till Punk come back. He could be where he is, challenge whoever the champion is, which would probably hopefully be Damian Priest. What's going on, Marin? Yeah, KliqBait's on Monday now. This is our new time and day. We calling doing this with Monday Night Raw, and sponsored by ELW, Extreme Locale Wrestling. You know how we do. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, it just makes more sense to just do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, again, like I said before, I think it's where WWE, where they have feuds that last so long that it's just like, Rollins beat McIntyre so many times. Like, they had so many matches where Rollins beat him that it's just, it's like, almost
put it like this. Okay, how many months is Punk?
Bro, like, he beat him like 4 times.
How long is Punk supposed to be out for?
Maybe 3 months?
3 months? Okay. So what's to say you put the world title on Priest. Priest gets a 3-month run, has a little feud with Rollins and then has a little feud with McIntyre, and then you can, if you want to give the title to McIntyre, then so when Punk returns, that's the thing we run with. Let's do it. And you still get the time now to crown a new Money in the Bank winner. We let the previous holder cash his in now. And like I said, he got his little 3-month reign, and people got to kind of feel it out to see how he handles being the guy. Hey, you don't know. It could actually be successful, and they might run with it longer. You never know. But it's like, at least let him do the thing. Let him cash it in. Let him get a run with the belt. Let him get the 3 months. And if you want to put it on McIntyre in a feud with Punk, you can always do that without hindering Damian Priest's process. And we don't get a 3-month reign of McIntyre as champion.
Yeah, he's got to cash in soon, so you might as well. Yeah, you might as well do it at. Might as well do it at Mania.
Opportune moment to do it. This would be the time. Like I said, find a way to get the tag titles off of them on the first night, and then whenever the other matches, you have them cash it in, or we doing it all this on the same night. More than likely, it'd probably be all on the same night. But either way, like, let's get it done.
The thing too is, like, Punk doesn't necessarily need to win the title as soon as he gets back. Like, Punk and McIntyre doesn't necessarily need to be for the championship. There's enough personal animosity there that they could do it without the title. Like, I would be okay if Punk wins the title at SummerSlam. He doesn't need to win the title as soon as he gets back, you know? Like, Punk can come back, and let's say he can sort out his shit with McIntyre first, and then after he's dealt with McIntyre, he can then maybe move on to the title and maybe win the title at SummerSlam. Because I don't want to see them... I really want to see them invest time into Priest. I don't want to see him just get a title and then just quickly lose it, you know? Like, I want them to actually invest time into it and actually make him into a star.
3 months. See how he handles 3 months.
Yeah.
And within them 3 months, they'll know, like, okay, he's drawing in house show. He's over on the TV side of things. Match quality is good. Mic work is good. Merch is selling. If he could at least hit a couple of those key factors, and they go, you know what? Let him run another 3 months. Let's see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how he rocks until fucking Survivor Series, or till, let's see if he can make how he handles it at the Rumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, not even the Rumble. If you figure if he wins it at Mania, let him rock till SummerSlam, because that's the time he would have. Let him rock till SummerSlam. If he can't make, they'll know by SummerSlam if he ain't the guy. If he ain't the guy,
that's the thing, right?
He won't make it past SummerSlam with the title.
So that's the thing. Let's say hypothetically, CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight title. It's gonna be a huge deal, right? Like, it's gonna be a huge thing. It's gonna be a huge moment. I don't want to see them do it at, like, a throwaway pay-per-view. I don't want to see them do it at, like, Payback or, like, Great Balls of Fire or WrestleMania Backlash. I don't want them to do it at, like, a throwaway pay-per-view. So I would much rather have them wait until SummerSlam. Punk versus Priest at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight title. By the time you get to SummerSlam, just like you said, Priest will have had a long enough run that you'll know, is this guy a star or not? Does this guy draw or not? Is this guy a future top guy or is he not? You'll know by SummerSlam, and then Punk could beat him at SummerSlam, and it'll be like a great SummerSlam moment. I don't want to see Punk win the title at a throwaway pay-per-view.
It could be the reverse, and they go, you know what? We want to continue rock with Priest. Let him run. Like I said, like by that point, they'll know what they have. And okay, so we're tying up the series. Okay, so Now he got the win, so I guess we got to do a rubber match now, huh? Between Nakamura and Sami Zayn here.
Probably be a best of 13 series.
Best of 13. Listen, the
But
only best of 7 is Roderick versus guy with 2 names for custody of action, man. Everybody knows that.
Let me chat. Everybody in the chat, indulge me on this. I think 2 chamber matches is 1 chamber match too many. I think 2 chamber matches is too many.
But they feel they gotta do 1 for the men and 1 for the women. So
the problem is I feel like, okay, like that first chamber match, I was hyped because we haven't seen the Elimination Chamber in like a year. I was excited for it. I was hyped. I was feeling the women's chamber match. I'm like, this is great. Elimination Chamber is so cool. By the time we get to the men's chamber match, it feels sort of redundant because it feels like the men are doing all the same spots that the women already did earlier on in the night, you know? I don't know, like I just felt like I wasn't interested in that in the men's chamber because it just felt like redundant to me. You know, like I think 2 chamber matches is just too many. I think it should just be one chamber match and decide if you want it to be for the men or the women. Just have 1 chamber match.
what's going on, Alex? Thanks for joining us, man.
I don't know. It's just me, man. It's just me. Like I feel like I was not feeling that second chamber match. I don't know if it's just because the participants or I don't know what it was, but man, I wasn't feeling that second chamber
I
match.
enjoyed the women's a little more than the men's.
I did
even
too.
Even though, like I already kind of knew, like okay, how it was gonna end. We knew Becky was more than likely gonna win it because you know the crop that was in there. Like the only other person would have been like a Bianca, but they haven't been setting nothing up for her to warrant it. But they have with Becky, so that's why she seemed to be more of the front runner. As far as the men, it was like no one in here, I believe, and it's like no, like first off, like I said, Logan's the United States champion, so no. Then you got fucking Owens, who's currently in a feud with Logan, so no. Like I said, LA Knight would have probably been the more front runner for me. But I guess they had other plans because AJ Styles, you know, ripped to that. And then we just get McIntyre, which nobody actually fucking wanted.
Yeah.
So I preferred the women's match more than the men's match. But, like, should there be less Elimination Chambers? Maybe? I think, like, here's the thing. I think they could do 1 chamber match if they want to, like, emphasize that particular title. Like, if they want to emphasize the women's world title, then do that. Or the men's world title.
That's
whatever,
what I think.
Whatever the secondary runner-up prize was going to be. But, and then for that other belt that didn't get a chamber, just have a fucking match. Have a fucking match.
Yeah, because it feels like we're just getting, like, okay, we gotta have a men's chamber and we gotta have a women's chamber because
equality,
well,
you know
equality. Like think back to a couple of years ago when there was only 1 elimination chamber, and think back to why the elimination chamber came into existence. The elimination chamber came into existence because you had a champion and there was too many top contenders and it was too heated and there was too many big personalities to be contained in a regular match. So they created the Elimination Chamber match.
Plus, we had outside influences. Don't forget about outside influences.
Yes.
They were meant to be kept out, a la Evolution. And because the
Exactly.
chamber wasn't
Exactly.
created because the world champion at set time not only had a bunch of top contenders chasing him, but he was doing a lot of ducking. And this match was basically built so the champ couldn't duck his challengers. He had to fight.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I think there should just be one Elimination Chamber match, and just like you said, the Elimination Chamber match should go to whatever title deserves the Elimination Chamber match. If it's the women, then it should be the women. The women get the chamber. If it's the men, then the men get the chamber. Because it just feels like when you do two chamber matches, the second chamber doesn't feel as special because you've already seen a chamber match. You already watched a chamber match an hour ago. You know?
But I'm saying you can still. Here's the thing: you can still spotlight the women without having two chambers. Because then here's the thing: because they have two chamber matches, you only got 4 matches on the card. So eliminate one chamber match, then you set up to have a match with 2 women and have a one-on-one. So the women can still get their spotlight. You still got the women's world title match. That was the main event. That's the actual spotlight. That's the actual spotlight. But if you want more than one woman match on the card, then that's what the lower card's for. Then you have some preliminary match. Like I said, if the men's world titles get in the precedence in the Elimination Chamber and the women don't have one, then like I said, if they need to pick a number 1 contender, then you go, okay, the last bitch that got thrown out go up against whatever chick, whoever, and y'all battle it out, and the winner of that match will meet the winner of the main event at WrestleMania. Done deal.
Yeah.
Done deal. You didn't have to throw 6 bitches in the ring to decide when we all knew it was gonna be Becky. You could have just put Becky in a match with one bitch. You could have just put Becky in a match with Bianca, and that'd have been legit. That'd have been legit. Because both women have some kind of stake claim to getting a world title shot. Bianca's a beast and a former champion, and Becky is a former champion. So already staked to the claim. And they're both good at what they do. So it's like, throw them 2 in the ring. Y'all, whoever win, get Rhea.
It's like, I feel like that's the thing now. Like, again, like, when the chamber used to be designed because you had too many contenders and Triple H was constantly ducking people and Evolution was constantly helping them, so they created the chamber so Triple H would have to defend his title on his own. Like, he couldn't have outside interference. Like, I like that more. Like, now you just have a chamber match for the sake of having a chamber. But here's the thing, like, the women's chamber match, it was always going to be Becky. It was always going to be Becky. So you have Tiffany Stratton in there, and you have Raquel in there, and you have Naomi in there, but they're all useless because they were never going to win. Like, it was never going to be Naomi versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. It was either going to be Becky or it was either going to be Liv. Like, you could have just had them in a number 1 contenders match, and then you could have did something else. Because it was never going to be any of those other competitors. Like, the Elimination Chamber shouldn't be like an exhibition style match. Like, the Elimination Chamber should be something that's designed to contain large, like, feuds, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Elimination Chamber should be something that is designed to contain a feud that contains multiple components. Not just, let's just have a chamber match for the sake of having a chamber match, and let's just fill it with zeros that have no chance of main eventing WrestleMania.
Word?
You know what I'm saying?
That, Alex? Ole Anderson?
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh, damn, yo. R.I.P. Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
You know, and
Four Horsemen. Founding member.
just to go back a little bit earlier, like just to kind of because the chat is basically saying they totally don't agree with me, which is fine. Uh, I don't know if y'all can kind of the Royal Rumble is a totally different scenario. Like having two rumbles is totally different because one, a Royal Rumble is something where people can add themselves, and it's designed to get to WrestleMania. That's what it's designed for. So yeah, you can have two rumbles. The other thing with the chamber match, 60 minutes to watch the same six guys fighting each other is a lot for me. It's a lot for me to sit and watch a 60-minute match. That's the same group of people. The Royal Rumble 60 minutes is totally different because in that 60 minutes, how many times does that match change? Like new people come in every 2 minutes, people get eliminated. It's constantly changing.
No, yeah.
And
Listen,
again,
I don't.
even
I
the
don't disagree. I think there should be two rumbles because, like I said, you want the women to have their shot.
yeah,
To do it. Let them. If you want to have two Money in the Banks, fine. If they want to have the shot to get a contract, let them. The only reason I say have one chamber is because the chamber is that kind of match that can blow a crowd out. And when you blow a
yes,
crowd out, the rest of the show suffers for that because they got nothing left to give you. So especially if you're gonna do one
yeah,
to open the show and then try to hit them with one mid card, they're already blown out for the first one. Especially
hmm
if the first one's good. God forbid the first one's good. The crowd's
hmm
blown up now because they gave
yeah,
all that shit to that match. So then when we get to the next match and you're like, man, the crowd, they out of it, they dead, yeah, because they're blown up. They gave it all. They popped. So
yeah,
that's
because
why you
it's
can't really then you expect them to bring back that energy for the next one when it's like unless that one
yeah,
surpasses what I just saw like it's like 60 minutes ago, you're gonna be like, ugh. To remember, uh,
uh,
not all elimination chambers are created equal. Dismember? Does anyone remember? I don't know. I didn't mean to
yeah,
I didn't mean to make that rhyme. It just did. But like, yeah, that was terrible, and that was only one match. Now imagine if you got a match before that was good, and then you get another one like that's bad. Yeah, terrible
yep,
night. That's all
yeah.
people are
It's
gonna
and
remember.
and,
They're
and
not even
that's
gonna remember really the good one
that's
because the bad one's gonna overshine it of how bad it was.
and that's what I mean. Like that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Like I felt like by the time I got to the second chamber match, I felt burnt out because all the gimmicks, all the spots that the men were doing, we already saw the women do it.
Yeah.
And again, the just to address the chat again, like the difference with the Money in the Bank is the Money in the Bank has always been a match that was built off of just being like an exhibition style match. Like the Money in the Bank was never a match that intended where there was intended to be in a feud. And the difference with Money in the Bank, those matches did truly feel like anybody could have won because it was usually like mid card guys. It was always like mid card guys, and what mid carder is gonna get the briefcase and propel themselves to the next level. It just I think Elimination Chamber should go back to what it was when it first started, where the reason for the Elimination Chamber was not to get a match at WrestleMania. Like it was none of that. It was because that they needed to force the champion into an environment where he could not he could not sneak away with this title. He could not have interference to help him keep the title. It was a match that was designed to we got all these big personalities they have to face off. We need a structure that can contain all of these superstars, and we need a structure that will ensure that the champion cannot weasel out of out of his match. That's what we need to go back to, versus doing these elimination chamber matches where it's a bunch of nobodies. I don't mean nobodies like that, but I mean it like it's people that you knew were never gonna win. Like if y'all thought Naomi was winning, if y'all thought like Tiffany Stratton was gonna win and it was gonna be Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, you fucking played yourself. Like I don't know how else to tell you. Like you played. No, it's true. Like if you thought anybody other than Becky or Liv was gonna win that match, you played yourself big time. Because here's the thing, Rhea already faced Raquel and she beat her like it was nothing. Naomi just got back. She's not going to WrestleMania against Rhea. I'm sorry. Same thing with Tiffany Stratton. And I don't even remember who the other person was in that match because they were irrelevant. Because it was always going to be... Bianca. It was never going to be Bianca. Give me a break.
Bianca had more of a chance than... Bianca, at least in the top 3. Because she's everywhere in WWE. She's one of their face people right now. So, and they know she money. So she definitely a contender, but it was never going to be like, wasn't going to be Raquel. Wasn't going to be Tiffany. Like I said, wasn't going to... No.
So that's what I mean. Like, we didn't need... Tiffany, Raquel, and Naomi did not need to be in there because it was going to either be Becky or it was going to be Liv or it was going to be Bianca. It was always going to be one of those 3. So the fact that they were in the match was irrelevant. It was just adding someone to a match for the sake of adding someone to a match. And then the problem is that when you have these people involved that are never going to win, it just drags out the match. It just drags out the match. Alex, I've been saying for years, man, they need to have blood. For years I've been saying that. You could not be preaching the truth anymore. Yeah, the chamber match should always have blood.
Yeah, that's
because
another
it's
reason
a match
why
that is support.
You need to have one, because like you're telling me, you're promoting to me that this is a dangerous, unforgiving structure, that people's careers will never be the same after they step through this chamber, right? So I didn't expect you to come out like a bloody mess. And then you're going to tell me you're going to do it twice? And everyone's coming out clean?
And it's like, again, remember like the old school, like I remember watching like, maybe not the first Elimination Chamber, but there was one, I think it was maybe the second or, I think it was maybe the third one. Because the third Elimination Chamber, I think it was like Batista, Orton, Jericho, Christian, Edge, and Benoit, I think. And I remember like the next night on Raw, every one of those motherfuckers came out and they were bandaged up to some capacity. Like somebody had their ribs taped up, and then their arm was all fucking taped up. Every one of those motherfuckers came out and they were bandaged up. And the announcers were selling like, hey, like last night, Elimination Chamber, these guys put each other through hell in the Devil's Playground, the most dangerous structure in all of WWE. They beat the hell out of each other. That's why they're all banged up. Like, again, like, that's what we need to see. Like, you know, like, we see the Elimination Chamber on Saturday, and then everybody comes back. Like, they're all fine. Like, nobody... Like, oh, everybody's fine. Like, they might as well have been in a pillow fight.
Yeah, like, you know, you put me through plate glass and bang me off cages and shit. I'm good.
Yeah.
Not a scratch on me.
Yeah.
I'm good. How your day? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, come on. That's why, like, if you're gonna do
But
it,
yeah,
do it once and do it right. Like,
yeah,
no one's saying that like you gotta slit throats or something, but it's like if you're gonna sell this as a very hard match, then it should be a hard match.
hmm
Like, I mean, no,
and
like I said,
again,
y'all don't do blood at all anymore. But it's like at least make the exception for a match that should warrant that kind of action of bloodshed. You're in a
yeah,
cage. It
yeah,
makes
and
sense.
again too, like with the one chamber, it's like quality over quantity, quality over quantity. Just have one really good chamber match, instead of just having two subpar chamber matches. And again, yeah, like Marin, you're totally right too. They do need to focus on building stars, but how do you build a star? How do you build a star when you put people in matches where they're guaranteed to lose? You put people in matches where they have no chance of winning. And that's what these elimination chambers do, where you have people in there just to you have a person in the chamber just to be a person in the chamber. How do you build new stars doing that when you just have people, you're just putting people in a scenario where inevitably they're gonna lose.
They just there to be a body. They just there to be a body.
They're just yeah, they're just there to be a body. Like again, like Tiffany, Naomi, you could have swapped them out for literally anybody. You could have swapped Tiffany. It could have been Mia Yim, could have been Natalia,
That's your
could have been
favorite.
Scarlett,
Mm-hmm.
could have been could have
Could
been
have been Nikki Cross. She still works there.
Nikki Cross. Yeah, could have been Nikki Cross. Could have been anybody, because they were never gonna win. They were never ever gonna win.
You could have put Candice LeRae. Like, listen, they listen. WWE like, yo, we in Australia. We gotta find a way to get Indy Hartwell up in here. She didn't get in the chamber, so she can't get it. So we'll put them on the kickoff show against the Kabuki
let's
Warriors.
let's put her let's put her on the pre-show.
But she not winning though. She still wasn't gonna win. So it was like, you just hear there's only one Australia winning here tonight, and her name is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
But it's like you could take the L on the kickoff against the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles.
Or Gojira, let me flip it on you. How about you take your two top stars and you put them in a match against each other, and then you take the other four stars that were never gonna win, and then you put them in a fatal four-way where now actually one of them has a chance to
No,
actually
no,
get a
no,
win
no,
on a
no, no. Know what
pay-per-view.
you actually do here? I'm about to flip it on everybody's head, because this is what should have happened at Elimination Chamber, because there were already matches in play that could have been initiated, but WWE chose to do what they did. First off, here's why Bobby shouldn't have been in there. Bobby was already, and currently still is, in a feud with Karrion Kross and his bunch of crew. You should have had a match there at Elimination Chamber. Could have been him versus Cross. Could have been him and the Profits versus Cross in the AOP. Which, by the way, they had a tag
Yeah.
team match the night before at SmackDown. So you could have just literally transitioned to that the next night. See?
Yep.
See, I'm already booking. Let me finish. So right there, boom. Bobby out of the fucking cage. You didn't need Kevin or fucking or Logan because of the shenanigans that happened at the Rumble with their little match. So you could have just kind of repeated that, let them have their rematch or whatever fuckery. So boom, out of the cell. That's already 3 people. So that means no men held in the cell. We'll just do the women's this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then like the situation with LA Knight if anything, if somebody's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be the guy for Seth Rollins, then boom, that's your other match. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Randy Orton. Boom. Everybody's out the fucking cage. Everybody's out the fucking cage now.
Yeah.
And you got a whole bunch of
Yeah.
matches to go through the card, and you still get a woman's elimination chamber.
Yep.
You're welcome. You're fucking welcome. Everybody's out the fucking pool.
Yep.
Everybody's out the fucking pool because they already had shit to do. You didn't need a second chamber. Plus, you throw on top,
Or again,
you already had the tag team match in tow. You had your little fucking Waller effects, and you had the and then the women's match was main event. Plus, you got the women's elimination chamber. Seemed like a pretty stacked card to me. Seemed like a pretty stacked card right there, if you ask me. You know, Grayson Waller. You know what I'm talking about, Baron. Come on, Hefe. Easy.
Or again, like I said, going back to the women, put Becky and Liv 1-on-1, and then if you have a fatal four.
No. See, keep the women's one. Because all those women were not doing anything as far as storyline wise. All the men I mentioned were doing something. So you could throw them in. And plus, with the triple threat thing, with Orton, McIntyre, and LA Knight, you could still throw AJ Styles in that fucking mix if you wanted to cost LA Knight the match. And McIntyre still gets his dub, whatever the fuck, right? So, like I said, keep the women's chamber because none of those women had anything going outside of what? Becky? Like, no one had any mission statement currently at that time. None of them. Naomi just came back. Liv just came back. Raquel just came back. Tiffany knew. And then you got Bianca and Becky. Nobody had anything going storyline-wise, so they might as well throw them in the chamber, and all the men had regular matches, because they all had something to do. Plus, you would have got AOP, or fucking Karrion Kross, you would have got all that with Bobby in that match. You would have had your little rematch with Owens and fucking and Paul, so we can get that shit out of the way before Mania.
And you could have done something like where you could use all of those guys, but use them in a different capacity. Hear me out. Have like an 8-man like all-star tag match. Like have like Bobby, Kevin, LA Knight, and Randy, and it's gonna be those four versus Karrion Kross, AJ Styles, Logan Paul, and throw Grayson Waller in the mix and actually have him in a match instead of just doing a talk show. Like, there you go. You're still accomplishing the same thing. You're still doing the same thing. You're getting all of those guys on the show. You could do literally all the same shit you did in the chamber. Randy could, Logan Paul could still use the brass knucks, knock out Randy, somebody pins Randy, that's how the heels win. AJ Styles attacks LA Knight after the match, or AJ Styles and LA Knight they brawl through the crowd, and okay, they're out of the match for now, and then you see backstage like AJ's hitting LA Knight with a chair, and okay, well, the match is just going to continue without them. You could have did the same exact thing, but just did it differently. So at least, okay, we're going to have like an 8-man all-star tag. It's at least something different. It's a match that still involves all the same components, but it's at least something that feels a little different.
Okay, hold on, not to cut you off. So we got the Imperium, Judgment Day. I know Damien ain't talking about cashing in on no IC title, But Dominic just stepped up, so probably not. But that'd be
Yeah.
dumb if he did. Don't be an Austin Theory. Don't be cashing in on no mid card belt.
Yeah, that's weak. That's such a waste. Like, why would you cash in on a mid card belt when you have a guaranteed shot? Oh, it looks like that's what they're doing. It looks like that's what they're doing. Why would you cash in on a mid card title? You have a guaranteed shot at a world title. Why would you settle for the B prize? Although that being said, I wouldn't be against seeing that match personally, but why would you cash in on a mid card title when you have a guaranteed shot at a world title? Stupid. Alex, The Rock on SmackDown, it's always gonna be a thumbs up in my book. Like I'm never gonna be I'm never gonna thumbs down The Rock. You know what I'm saying? The more Rock we get to see, the better.
It's his show.
Because we're only gonna get The Rock for so long, and then he's gonna be gone again. So let's get the most we can while he's here. You know.
Plus, it's his show, SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's The Rock show.
Oh man, it looks like.
I don't think he's gonna cash it in on him. No.
It's looking like that's maybe he's not gonna cash in on him, but it's maybe it looks like maybe that's gonna be Gunther's next feud. Like maybe it'll be maybe it'll be Priest and Gunther at WrestleMania, and then Gunther beats him at WrestleMania, and then Priest will kind of cash in at the end of the night, like he'll cash in on the World Heavyweight title.
I fucks with that.
And he'll be like, "Oh, y'all thought I was coming to WrestleMania just to win the Intercontinental title? No, like my plan was always to win like both titles." Or, something like I told you I was going to be leaving WrestleMania with at least one championship. Yeah, I don't know, the cashing in on the mid-card titles is stupid. I would rather see him go back to NXT. I'd rather see him go back to NXT and cash in on the NXT championship. I'd rather that than have him cash in on a mid-card title. Why would you cash in on the B prize when you got a guaranteed world title shot? Why would you cash in on anything other than the world title? It doesn't make sense.
Oh no.
It's like if I came up to you with two briefcases and I'm like, okay, like this briefcase in my left hand has $100, and then this briefcase in my right hand has $1,000. Which one do you want? You're gonna pick the $1,000 every single time. Like, why would you cash in on a mid-card title when you have a guaranteed shot at a world title? A shot that you may never get again.
Taking the big money, son.
Yeah.
Christians that have lost steam in the past month. I mean, AEW has lost a lot of steam in the past few months, so it's not relegated to just like one act in particular, but everything's kind of just everything in over there is kind of feeling a little bit like flat soda right now.
You know what though? They were cooking last week.
Yeah.
Like across all three shows, like on Dynamite, you had on Dynamite you had the 6-man tag. Like it was like Swerve, Brian Cage, and Samoa Joe versus Hook, Hangman, and fucking Rob Van Dam. Like that was a pretty solid match. On Rampage, you had Roderick Strong and like Jack Hager. Like that was a good match. Collision, you had Brian Keith and Malachi Black 1-on-1.
Yeah, but like those
You
were
had
just like one match out of the whole show that like the rest of the show wasn't that hot.
Well, no, yeah. Like I don't know, like Collision you had You have Powerhouse Hobbs and Sammy Guevara in a no holds barred match. Like Hobbs gives them the world's strongest slam off the top rope through a table. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give it that. That was cool.
And then and then on Rampage you had that 6-man trios. You know, you had Top Flight and Action Andretti versus Private Party and Matt Sydal versus Commander, Pentagon, and Brian Keith. Like I wasn't mad on that.
Yeah, but for all the good ones,
I
but
wasn't I wasn't mad at that.
they dropping some dumps and just making some moves, just like, who, what are y'all doing, bro? What was that shit with the when the Acclaim? I mean, Daddy Ass was teaming with Jay White and fucking Austin, and they was taking on those Beef Boys. But my man Billy hit him with the famous. He pops up like Hawk just to like do a cane over the ropes out to the outside. Like what hell of a sell was that?
Yeah.
From a famouser.
Yeah.
That shit was so slow, bro.
You know,
What was that?
you know, like listen, like not every segment can be good, right? Like we're almost we're almost halfway through Raw, and what's been good on this show so far, and we're already halfway through Raw. Like what's kind of been good on this show? Was it was it Raquel beating Chelsea Green in 30 seconds? Was it one of 3 talking segments? Was it Sami Zayn and Nakamura for the 100th time? You know, can't always be can't always be good.
Grande.
Ian, you're just kind of a hater. Whatever I say about AEW, you're gonna put a negative spin on it. Like for real, like anything I say about AEW, you're just gonna anything we say about AEW,
Listen,
you're
y'all
just
just
gonna
have
have
that.
like a
Y'all need
negative
to settle
comeback.
in on the ice like good Canadians should.
Like in a curling match.
I don't know, like how do y'all settle feuds in Canada? I would say y'all take it to the ice and have a little 1-on-1 to 10. Like, look at that. Even
No,
New Day knew what time it was. They come out in hockey jerseys. See, they know. Y'all gotta settle it in the
no,
ice.
I settle all my grievances in a beaver tail eating contest.
Beaver tail eating. What the fuck is a beaver tail?
Yeah. I settle all my grievances in a beaver tail eating
Yeah,
contest.
but first of
And
all, what is a
I'm a
beaver
pretty
tail?
big guy.
What's a beaver tail?
Beaver tail. It's like a long piece of like flat dough that's like deep fried, and then it gets brushed with like butter and cinnamon sugar.
So kind of like a churro almost.
Like a long flat churro. Yeah, like a churro if churro was shaped like naan.
Okay, got you.
And that's how I settle all my grievances.
Alright. Listen, Ian. We all know you a WWE sympathizer and staunch AEW hater, but you know I still love you anyway, man.
Listen, man, I'm just calling it like I see it. Like listen, like nothing but love, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Like and anything I say about AEW is you're just gonna put a negative spin on it.
Listen, both companies
Like
have their
yeah,
faults.
like
Okay, WWE does garbage, AEW does garbage.
like again, yeah, like it's just a bunch of mid carders, and it's just getting them on TV, but they're still producing quality matches, right? Regardless of why that match happens, it's still a good match. Like they're still producing good matches. Like again, we're kind of halfway through Raw. What's kind of been good on this Raw so far? What's been really good or interesting on this
Okay,
episode of
we
Raw?
have something
Nothing.
like this in America, but they're not beaver tails. It's just, but it is definitely interesting. I think Ian sent me a photo of your beaver tails. Okay.
Yeah, like it's like a churro, but it's shaped like a nun.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I see. Look, that I'd eat it. I'd eat that shit.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, like with like a nice like hot chocolate, and you could get some where they put extra toppings, but I
Yo,
don't
I
like
am
the
not
extra toppings. I
touching
just
that
like the plain one.
KFC pizza abomination. We don't listen. That you might as well just call that chicken parm at this point. All we
Yeah, that's
missing
all
is
it
all
is,
we
right?
missing is spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just call that bitch chicken parm. We're gonna do all that. Might as well throw that bitch in between
Yeah,
two slices of bread and call and call it a day.
yeah.
Stop playing. But
I don't
nah,
know. I don't
I'm
know.
not
I
fucking
feel
with the KFC chicken pizza, bro. I try
I,
to
I
avoid fast food lately. Just cook my own food.
it's just like pizza in itself is already not very good for you without the base being fried chicken, you know? Like I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
saying,
Like
but it's
pizza's already
I'm
not
not
good
saying
for
like
you.
I'm pretty sure it tastes good, but like yeah, sure, any chicken parm tastes good. Like the moment you throw sauce and cheese, especially like melted mozzarella on some fucking fried chicken, that shit is chicken parm now. That shit
I
is
like a
chicken
nice
parm.
chicken parm. I like a nice
Like,
chicken
oh,
parm.
with some pepperonis on it. Okay, it's a little extra on it. I like a little extra on my chicken parm sandwich. Like I said, I'm gonna throw that shit between two fucking hoagie rolls and call it a day. But you know what? I'd
Now
rather
I
make
kind
my
of
own
want
chicken parm if I'm gonna go that route. I'm not. Yeah, but that shit is wild though. KFC, they on that next level now. I thought they was wilding out when they was doing that shit when they did the Cheetos. When they putting Cheetos up in the
uh
bitch on top
I
of
don't know.
a chicken sandwich
There
and
there
shit.
there's something about like unless it's a chicken parmesan, like that's the only scenario. I don't ever want my chicken to be touched by cheese outside of chicken parm. Like I don't know, like I think like a chicken that tastes like Cheetos, I think would just kind of totally gross me out.
But you know, it is what it is though. We're in the middle of a street
And like
fight. New Day taking on Imperium. I mean, again, so we're having a street fight, but no one's gonna bleed. Like, no one's gonna bleed. I need a
no,
no
of
bleed
course
street
not.
fight. Especially
Look,
if we
like
out here
none
swinging weapons at each other.
yeah, yeah.
Goddamn commercials for the Dunkin' Munchkins with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon selling you Dunkin' Donuts coffee. How did we get here?
I like coffee.
But how did we get to now Matt Damon and Ben Affleck over here trying old Matt Damon and Ben Affleck selling Dunkin' Donuts coffee over here?
What's a munchkin?
It's the little round balls of
Oh, okay.
donuts. Y'all don't
Oh,
y'all don't
okay.
have Dunkin' Donuts in Canada?
No, we don't have Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, but y'all
But
have
we
like a
have like
donut.
an
Y'all have a donut establishment though, like a franchise out there.
we
You got the Tim
we
Hortons,
we
right?
we have we got Tim Hortons. Yeah, Tim Hortons is kind of like the equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts,
So they
and
should probably have their
we
version of
have.
a munchkin, if it's just a round ball
Oh,
donut.
they do
So that's
they
a
do.
munchkin,
Okay.
just that round ball.
I like it.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Sometimes I prefer the munchkins over the actual donuts. Sometimes because just you pop them, keep it moving.
I feel like we used to have Dunkin' Donuts here, but it kind of like it just went away and then it was just gone. It just went the way of the dinosaurs.
Do y'all have Krispy Kreme in Canada?
We do, but
Yeah, that's good
very
stuff right
few of them.
there.
There's very few of them, and there's none in my city.
Oh,
Like the
that
closest
sucks.
Krispy Kreme, yeah, like the closest Krispy Kreme to me is like 2 hours away.
Damn.
Mm.
Bro, so if you drive 2 hours with some donuts, you better come back with like at least like 6 dozen or something. You be like, yo, give me all the donuts that you can fit in the backseat of my car.
Yeah, like there used to be there used to be like I don't know, like it was like my wife knew this person, and like what she would do is she would like make the trip to Krispy Kreme, and like you would pay her for you'd pay her for like whatever you want, right? And she would collect everybody's orders, and then she would drive to Krispy Kreme and buy everybody's orders and then deliver them. And I would I would always I would always kind of get like 3 dozen donuts because I knew like it was gonna be like a long time before I'd go back. So I was like, yo, like we need to kind of stock up on these shits while we can.
Fucking Krispy Kremes, bro.
Hmm. Hmm.
I had one like hot coming out the joint, son. That shit is like heaven.
Hmm.
Like I've never tasted. I didn't think like love had taste until I tasted a Krispy Kreme hot out the oven, but it tastes like love. It tastes like
Yeah.
love. It tastes
Like was
like
it
sunshine. It tastes like like if God just put his hand on you and like, don't worry, my child, it's gonna be all right. Like it's just like I've never tasted a donut. Like I've never had a donut just evaporate in my mouth of just
like the glazed one?
deliciousness. Just the regular glaze coming hot out the fucking shit, like fresh out the joint. It's like bro. Like there's no drug. There is no drug. There is no drug. Like that shit. That shit. Like if you don't believe in a higher power, that someone was like, yo, this is the culmination of like ingenuity and just forward thinking of men to come together and put an ingredient, just simple ingredients of like flour, egg, shit like that, hot grease, and just a little bit of like melted sugar, and just in the perfect degree and timing. Like this shit, when I tell you, bro, son, I bought a dozen and I ate almost a dozen before I even walked out the door. Before I even walked out the door, son. Like, like it didn't even make it out the store. It was just so good. Like I didn't know that something could. I didn't know diabetes could be this good. It was just on another level, son. Like I mean, like you ever see the meme or the clip on the internet where the little cat's eating the watermelon with the human and he eating the rind and then he gets to the actual good part of the melon and his eye pop up and like, oh, you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. Like your eyes open like,
Sounds
like, oh shit, like, bruh.
that's
This, I
sounds
recommend, and if you
magical.
think I'm lying, if anyone in there, and even in the chat, if you think I'm lying, find you a Krispy Kreme and get that shit fresh out the joint. I mean, you if you gotta wait, wait, but get that shit fresh out the joint, like fresh out the grease, and eat that shit. And tell me that shit just don't dissolve in your fucking mouth or just flavor like you shit'll just blow the back of your neck off. Like, bruh, I can't. And bear in mind, the last time I did that shit was a couple years ago, but that shit is still fresh in my mind. It was that fucking good. It's that fucking good. And
That sounds magical.
I've been to Fogo de Chow's. Okay? I've been to Fogo de Chow's several times. And that donut is like, bro, if you was like, which one you want? You want this donut or Fogo de Chow's? I'm like, man, that's a tough call, man. That's a good ass donut. But there's a whole buffet full of beef and candy bacon. But that donut, though, fresh out of the grease, damn, man, you really got to think about it. Fogo de Chow's is good, bro. Yeah. Y'all got Brazilian steakhouses out there in Canada? Like it's like it's a place you go to where it's all you can eat beef, and they give you like a little like card, and it's like red and green, and you flip the card over like green, and then these dudes called gauchos come to you with like a skewer of beef, and they like start cutting that shit on your plate. And they just keep coming until you flip the card to red. Plus they got like the salad bar, but at the salad bar they got the candy bacon. That bacon is the fucking truth. It's like bacon should only be made this way. It's spicy candy bacon. That shit is the truth. But then, like I said, Fogo de Chow's, but they're the Brazilian steakhouses. You gotta try them. Then they bring you nothing but meat. Make sure you kind of like keep your gut empty, for that. Cause like I said, man, they don't stop. You don't flip till you flip that card, son. They're gonna keep coming. Like, hey, you want to cut? Here, cut you some of this. You want some of this filet mignon? You want some of the sausage? You want some of this? Whatever. They cut that shit, put on a plate for you, hook you up with fancy little side dishes and all the fucking accoutrements.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds magical.
It is magical. Been there a couple times, man. It's a good place to go, man. Just once in a while, you want to feel bougie. And it's fine dining too. You gotta dress nice. You can't come in there looking ratty and tatty. Gotta dress fashion forward.
Okay. So like nice shirt.
Nice shirt, nice little polo, dress pants. You know what I'm saying? Come in there looking like a gentleman.
Gotcha. Okay, mate. I'll have to do a little research and see if there's anything like that close to me.
I mean, you got reserved seat. You got reserved seat. Just can't pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you feel a little bougie. Like I said, it's a pricey meal, but like I said, you're gonna get fine dining. Like Fogo de Chow's, like $50 a head, son. But it's fine. But it's good shit. Like I said, motherfucker go be like, son, be on that be comatose after that shit. A lot of beef, Matt. I don't know if you see it. There's a lot of beef in this ring, Matt. There's a lot of beef.
That sounds good to me.
But say it's not that dressy of a code, Gojira. Like I said, it's not like you got to put on a suit. Just have like a good shirt. Like if you got like a decent polo, like a collar polo, you good. And like if you got like a pair of like some fucking khakis or something, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta come like dressed to the nines, but you can't look like you just came off the street. You know what I'm saying? You can't look like you just been working on a car motor or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come a little refined. A little bit.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta come on with the church clothes. But just the church clothes that you in the casual church. You know what I'm saying? Where you can wear like polo and some khakis. You know what I'm saying? I pull up. I pull up with the polo with the Autobot symbol on it, and a pair of some khaki shorts, and some boots, and it's casual. It's casual, but it's still classy. You know what I'm saying? Still classy. You know what I'm saying? Just don't come in there thuggish, ruggish bone, and you'll be fine.
Alex wants to know, yes or no, Taylor Swift at WrestleMania.
Why? Who cares?
Yeah, I say no.
If she ain't wrestling, I don't give a fuck. I'm about the wrestling. I don't care about the spectacle. I'm about the sports. Ooh, through the table. I'm about the sports in my sports entertainment. Like Taylor Swift, listen, she want to show up, let her. Let her. Okay. What you gonna sing? Let her sing. I'm saying it's not gonna like enhance the product that any. Like I said, she ain't in the match. I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, like unless she's wrestling. Like I don't give a shit about these celebrities. Like unless they're wrestling, I don't care.
Yeah.
And even in most cases when they are wrestling, I don't care. Like I wouldn't want to see Taylor Swift in a wrestling match regardless. But
I mean,
at least in a wrestling
I'm
match,
pretty
I
sure
would be
WWE would
slightly
love
more interested.
to have Taylor Swift there. I'm pretty sure they'd love it.
Oh,
It don't do nothing for
oh,
me.
absolutely they would.
It might not do that much for their audience either. Again, they're trying to get that new audience and eliminate some of the casuals and the diehards that have been there forever, like Matt and myself.
Yeah.
Like they want that YouTube money. They want that TikTok money. They want that shit. So, Kofi through the table.
Yeah, that looked like a rough landing.
Oh, it's been a hard hitting match though. I mean, it's a street fight, but still no blood. And
Yeah, I mean, it only took us an hour and a half to get to something good on Raw. But can this feud be over now?
Well, Imperium got the win. Good for them. But what does that do? Does anybody get a title shot? Anybody next in line?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I see the backstage. They got to go hard way to get a little blood, but you know. I so don't care about Grayson Waller.
No, me neither.
Like, I don't care about him. I never cared about him in NXT. Like, well, my biggest complaint is I don't like his ring attire. So, I don't care for the boxing short ring attire or basketball shorts, if I guess. I don't care for that. Put on some goddamn wrestling tights. Or some trunks.
It's just like, again, I sort of don't mind him and Theory as a tag team, but it goes back to, again, like, now we have a lot of tag teams, but there's no titles. There's not enough titles now, but we have a lot of tag teams. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing him and Theory, like, do more as a tag team, but you know, as long as Judgment Day's got the belts, like they're not getting any kind of title shot.
Okay, real quick. I had a discussion with some colleagues. And I want to get from my North American Thick Boy tag team partner. Yay or nay? Gross to drink out of your shoe.
Like my shoe specifically?
Like just any shoe, your shoe, just in general, shoe. Especially if it came off your foot.
Yeah, I kind of think that's pretty gross.
Okay, good, because I'm against that. People like it's a tradition. Yeah, it doesn't make it gross. And they like, yeah, I know in certain like sporting events, like in certain racing, like the winner drinks out of a shoe, and I'm like, still makes it gross. It doesn't matter if it's tradition, still makes it gross. Your sweaty fucking foot has been marinating in that shoe, and now you're gonna drink it. I hope you like the cheese. Hope it tastes good with the athlete's foot. It's nasty.
Yeah.
Your sweaty,
It's just,
crusty
yeah, I
dog
don't know,
in
like,
there marinating, you gonna drink out the shoe. And somebody's telling me they don't drink out of the
yeah,
shoes they wear. Yes, they do. I literally watched the press conference with Rhea Ripley and fucking Grayson Waller take the shoes off their feet and then drink out of them. The same shoes that their feet were sitting in there marinating in the hot Australia heat. Just functified. And then you
Yeah.
gonna drink out of put your
Like
lips on that shit and drink out the cup of life. Get out of here.
like just think just think like you're wearing your shoes and your feet are sweating all day, and when you the end of the day and you take your socks off and your sock is kind of like crusty because you've been sweating all day, and your feet sweat, and then imagine like that's in your shoe, and then you add liquid and you drink it. Like,
Yeah, then
yeah,
on top of that, now you got a ruined
that's
shoe
gross.
because you done poured liquid in it too. So now you done fucked up two ways. You done drank out of a nasty
Yeah,
shoe, and now you got a wet shoe. So it's all counterproductive. That's why, like, listen, y'all Aussies, y'all can keep that. Y'all keep your shoeies. But that shit's gross. I'm just saying. I get it's a tradition or whatever
yeah,
the fuck's.
that's
Don't make it doesn't negate that it's nasty. I'm not saying
it is
it's
nasty.
wrong. I'm just saying it's nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Hmm.
Uh, okay, Gojira asks, is Austin Theory salvageable?
Who's
I say
salvageable?
again, I'm going back. Like, I guess salvageable in the sense of like at one time he was like he was like U.S. champion. He was almost he was almost being groomed as like the next top star, and now he kind of barely even shows up on TV.
Wait a minute. Skateboarding's in the Olympics? What happened to the X Games? Did they get pushed out by the Olympics? That'd be kind of fucked up. I mean, he's salvageable
Uh,
because he's still young, so he's got plenty of time to grow. I mean, right now, like he doesn't need to be in the main event because he's still like you see what he's doing now, doing nothing, just kind of being the sidekick.
again,
Either this week he's the sidekick of Grayson, or the next week Grayson's his sidekick. But they just a bunch of just bro dudes just goofing off in the back most of the
I
time.
I think there's potential for them as a tag team. Like they almost remind me of like the Bromans. And remember when the Bromans came together in TNA and nobody took them seriously, and everybody thought they were kind of a joke, and then they started winning matches, and then they won the tag team titles, and they held the titles for like a long time. Like Theory and Grayson Waller, like they kind of remind me of that. I think there's potential in them as a tag team, but again, like right now with Judgment Day holding the titles, like they're not getting any kind of title shot anytime soon. But I do think there could be. I do think there could be. I do think there could be something there as a tag team.
We need to hurry. They need to hurry
Alex
up and
brings
just like
up.
come up with a secondary title for the other show, so we can end with this like both titles are being held hostage. Like the other show just needs to get
Yeah.
its own title.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally agree. Like either they need to split the tag team titles again, or SmackDown needs to have like trios titles. One of the two. One of the two. I honestly do not care which one. Uh, Alex brings up drinking out of Samantha Irvin's shoe. I don't
Nope.
know, man. She's
Nope. I'm not even. It doesn't even matter. I ain't drinking out of no female shoe. Same
yeah,
rules still applies, bro. Same rules still apply. Her foot is sweaty and nasty. No,
yeah,
it's gross. Like I said, if you want to be a simp
yeah.
like that, you go
It's
right ahead.
gross.
You be that guy. While you at it, make sure you buy some of Belle Delphine's bathwater too. But wash it down. In fact, why don't you buy Belle Delphine's bathwater and drink it out of Samantha Irvin's shoe? You get a 2-for-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah,
You think
it's
she?
nasty.
That's gross. She
Yeah.
probably. I bet she like farts in that bath water, and then everybody's like drinking her bath water,
Bro,
and
that
they
shit
don't
is
even
probably
realize
just tap
they're
water,
drinking her
bro.
fart water.
That shit is probably just tap water.
That's gross, man. That's fucking gross. Like people are. I don't care how hot somebody is. Like I'm not drinking anybody's bathwater. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care who you are. I'm not drinking nobody's bathwater. Like that's gross, man. That's gross. People gotta cut that shit out. People just be into some wild. People just be into some like wild shit, man. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just old fashioned. I don't want to drink anyone's bathwater.
Nah, I ain't trying to drink nobody's bodily fluids. Fuck out of here with all that shit. Listen, I've tasted my own sweat. Okay, like we all had if you've actually worked a manual label job,
Yeah,
and that shit is nasty. Why I want to taste someone else's? Fuck out of here.
yeah, yeah. It's how you end up like Cobra, man. That's how you end up like Cobra, and
Yeah,
now all of
don't
a
end up
sudden
like
you drink
Cobra.
bathwater. Now all of a sudden you got herpes.
Cobra was dropping some videos. Like I gotta catch up on Cobra. He did some food hacks, and he did a mead update. He was sipping on the mead.
I saw the one where it's like he's making like an egg sandwich, but he's like it's an egg sandwich hack, and it's like he just keeps adding stuff to it.
Yeah, that's that Jimmy Dean
Like
sausage patty jump off he had.
yeah, yeah, like that's his. Have you seen that one?
I gotta go back. I saw bits and pieces, but I gotta go back
Yeah,
and catch the full.
like like that's his hack. Like okay, I'm gonna add this. Now I'm gonna add like he just keeps adding stuff, and like every ingredient is worse than the last ingredient. You know what I mean? Like every ingredient he adds, it's like oh my god, please stop now. And then he adds something else, and it's like what are you doing?
Yeah. All right, so
That guy's wild.
we got women's tag team action. We got Candice and Indy Hartwell going up against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. Uh,
I like the team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
I do too, and even though they don't have a
I like
name, they
this
at
team.
least try to stay color coordinated. Even though it's different
Yeah,
ring gear, it's color coordinated, so I'll give them points for that.
yeah.
And Indy and Candice, they've been the tag team like forever and a day, but do a lot of jobbing. Like Candice be doing a lot of jobbing.
I like. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. I like Candace. I like Candace.
I think she needs to like ditch the hair, like go either her natural color or go like just blonde, and then go heel, because this baby face run right now ain't doing her no favors. Like
Yeah.
she's in drastic need of a bit of a makeover, because the poison pixie thing ain't working right now.
I like Candace, man. I don't think she gets enough play.
They don't. They just be using her as a jobber. She just be out here taking L's. You would think she was on Ring of
Like I
Honor or something, the way she come over here to take these
yeah,
L's. And look at this, Indy already tap. Already tap, goddamn son.
not
I
even
just
trying to wait for her partner. Did
just taking
did
the
you ever see
L's.
and this could apply to anybody in the chat. Did you guys ever see that that Guerrilla Warfare match where it was World's Cutest Tag Team versus the Young Bucks?
Nah, I haven't.
And I forget which Young Buck it was, but he had like a boot where the bottom of the boot was all like thumbtacks and he like super kicked like Candice LeRae.
Oh, Brock. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, he might be in the game. I don't know, but you might have to just download him off Cara Creation because I don't know, buddy.
I heard that like so supposedly he's in the game, but they're making him unplayable. Like you would have to hack the game in order to be able to play as him because I guess it's too late to physically remove him, but I guess they're making it so that you can't actually play as him. But I guess like if you have if you have somebody that that kind of knows their way around that kind of stuff, you could maybe potentially hack the game and kind of play as him. But
Bro, you don't even gotta do that. Just go to character create. I guarantee you, bro, somebody's gonna recreate it. Just go to download character, create a wrestler, and somebody will recreate everything for you, and then you'll be fine. You'll be
that's
actually
probably
fine.
that's probably the best way to do it
It's not even
versus
really that big of
trying
a
to
deal
hack
because
it.
it's like, bro, trust me, like it's not the end of the world. There's gonna be so many creative fucking Lesners out there. You'll be fine. Everybody will be fine. Just the same way you're gonna get all the created dudes who ain't on the rosters. You're gonna get all your John Moxleys and your MJFs and your Kenny Omegas and your Young Bucks and your Swerves and all that in between.
Hmm.
So shit like this, I don't even sweat it. You know, all the wrestlers that should be on the roster, somebody gonna make them and they'll be on the roster. Or a version of the wrestler that's probably gonna be outdated. You'll have somebody who's gonna update it.
Yeah.
Same way when last year's version came out and Dominic Mysterio was still as a babyface, you went on the download creations and they had a new pack. They had somebody had hooked it up so Dominic looked more like he does now in the Judgment Day. Easy.
Hmm.
And that shit was like almost week 1 of the game coming out. Cats had that shit already done. New hairstyle and everything. Gave him the Eddie mullet, you know, and purpled his gear up. But like easy, bro. Like I say, yeah, like those little things, like oh we leaving a character out. Let them. If you really want them that bad, somebody will make them for you, or hell, if you're that inclined, you can make them yourself. I usually will let someone else make it because they'll actually go the extra mile and make it a good. So I'll fuck with they shit.
Yeah.
And plus, if you get your own created, Brock, you now can tweak it all you want outside of what the game would allow you. Give him face paint, give him a new hairstyle, you give him different ring attire, you do all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff. Kung Fu Panda 4. I can't believe there's 4 Kung Fu Pandas.
Yeah, I never saw any of them outside of the first one.
Like I remember, like I said, I never even seen the first one. I probably seen like bits and pieces, but I never actively went and saw Kung Fu Panda because I didn't care. And I knew they made
Yeah,
a
like,
sequel, but I didn't know there was like a third and now a fourth.
and I think there was like an animated series too. Yeah, I don't know. I never knew the Kung Fu Panda went that deep. Like I just kind of saw the first one, and I just kind of left it at that.
I'm like, I didn't even know they made that kind of money. That they try making more movies and all that with it. But all right, yeah, good on you. Listen, it's not for me, so I ain't hating on it. I'm just like, I just like, wow, I didn't know there's like, we're now at a fourth Kung Fu Panda? Didn't even know there was a third.
Yeah. You know what? I think at WrestleMania for the tag titles, I think they should do like a tag team turmoil.
Alright, what you doing here, Truth?
I don't know if I would say Rhea's directly a face, as much as she's just getting a baby face reaction. I don't think they're pushing her as a face. I think it's just she's over, so people are kind of cheering for her. Like, I think she's still very much supposed to be a heel.
Regeneration. My man Truth is a nut. He said, I gotta take my TV back. Is there a cord on it? Is it cordless? Nope. Boo, it's McIntyre. Also, I'm getting
And
kind of a little like tired of them.
doesn't
Like,
doesn't look
show
like he's
us.
here to compete.
Yeah, like they keep showing off the video game rankings of wrestlers during matches now. Have you noticed they've been doing that lately?
Yeah,
They'll
like it
show
actually
you,
like
they'll show
means
you
something.
the game rating of a person in the ring. Promoting Rollins versus. You know what? Hold on a second. I should promote too, because you know what? They're doing their thing. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's Monday Night Raw, but ELW, Extreme Local Wrestling, is also having a show WrestleMania week. It'll be our 1 year anniversary. And we are gonna have a premiere show. And we already have stellar matches already on tap for the card. And that is gonna be ELW's Bound for Bankruptcy. Yes, Bound for Bankruptcy. I'm excited about this, Matt, because this is going to be our WrestleMania going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Bound for Bankruptcy is going to be that event. Like, and like I said, we already got a main event on the card, bro. Main event on the card.
Yeah, Bound for Bankruptcy is the greatest title for a pay-per-view ever.
Check this out.
Gojira, I'm gonna kind of have to correct you there, Gojira. Bronson Reed himself said that in fact was not the reason why he was not on Elimination Chamber. That's not me saying it. That's him himself that said that.
But we have the probably it's almost been a year in the making for this match to happen, man, at Bound for Bankruptcy. Two of the most dominant champions that we've had in our inception so far. The ELW World Champion and the ELW World Television Champion will collide. Champion versus champion, title for title. That's right, man. We are gonna do it. Moist Critical, the White Race. It's gonna happen. The main event of Bound for Bankruptcy.
Moist has kind of been a menace.
He is, man.
He's
Listen,
been a menace.
He defeated the White in an exhibition. He defeated the White in an exhibition.
That Moist kick comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, man. It's dangerous.
That Moist kick comes out of nowhere. You know.
So
I
like,
don't know.
yeah, man, that's it's a big deal right there, right? You know, so I'm like, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
But also, just added to the card because he just recently became Almighty Champion. The former champion is invoking his rematch, and he's gonna get it at Bound for Bankruptcy. That's right. The new champion, the Buff Brit, the Marked One, will be taking on former champion of the Tractor Beam, the Big Cat himself, Snood. Oh man, that's gonna be an epic fight right there. Snood was a pretty, tight champion. He was getting it done as Almighty Champion. He was representing out there, but the rookie coming in. Not even been here 6 months and already wearing gold. Like Mark One, man, he doesn't skip the gym, man. He don't skip gyms. He's all about the strides, the tries. He don't skip leg day. And now he's over there pretty in pink with the Almighty Championship. He got the custom belts. And he'll be defending it at Bound for Bankruptcy. What's so funny, man?
I just love that name.
What, Bound for Bankruptcy?
It's great.
Hey man, listen.
I don't know how to tell you. It's just great. It's just great. I don't know how to explain it.
Listen, I love it too, and that's why it's ELW's premier event, celebrating our 1 year anniversary, man. 1 year anniversary. Had a lot of highs and lows in ELW. Crowned a lot of champions. We've had some spectacular matches. Oh man. In fact,
I don't know.
I have on good authority that the former ELW World Tag Team Champions, the Clussy Magnets, are looking to get another shot at the North American Thick Boys for the titles.
I mean, somebody's gotta get those hands, right?
Listen. Like I said, April 4th is Bound for Bankruptcy. We got like a good month away. A lot can happen in 30 days,
I'm anxious to see what Cobra's gonna be doing at this extravaganza.
You know what? Listen, all hands on deck for Bound for Bankruptcy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an extravaganza. I wouldn't be surprised if Buff sang the national anthem again, like he did for Hobos and Dogs. Wouldn't be surprised. Because, he's that patriotic.
He is the stuff.
He is. Buff Guerrero. Always a showman. Former
He's
world
got the
champion,
moves.
by the way.
He's got the
Former
moves.
ELW world champion, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's got the pedigree. So we getting the talking segment over here with Seth freaking Rollins.
Is this our third talking segment? Is this our third or fourth talking segment of the night?
But yeah, I'm very excited about this match right here. Moist versus Dwight is. Shout out to
Moist has been a
shout out to
menace.
my
So.
editor who made this dope thumbnail for the show. That being the White Race. Shout out to the White Race for making that dope thumbnail right there for Alpha Bankruptcy.
Nobody makes a better thumbnail than the White Race.
It's epic. Oh, and Alpha Bankruptcy does have like a theme song. I won't give it away. It fits for me. It makes me feel good inside. But it will be the official theme song for the Alpha Bankruptcy. But don't worry about it. I'm gonna keep it secret. But it's going down.
Did you watch? Did you watch No Surrender this weekend?
I did watch No Surrender. In fact, I'm glad you brought that up. What'd you think of the show? I mean, not much really happened. I mean, we get a new X Division champion and Mustafa Ali. In fact, I was surprised that the main event was the X Division match, even though they had a world title match on the card. And Moose and Adam
I feel like as soon as they announced like that was gonna be the main event, I was kind of slightly more skewed that like, okay, I think Ali's probably gonna win.
But not only did we get a new X Division champion, we got new Knockouts Tag Team champions once again in MK Ultra defeating Decay.
And then they officially kind of turning heel.
Yeah.
The only titles that I wanted to change hands that didn't was I was kind of disappointed the Grizzled Young Veterans didn't walk out with the tag team titles.
Too. But also I noticed that I think ABC lost their Bullet Club privileges because the theme song was gone.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that they're no longer affiliated because their video screen was like totally new. They had new entrance music, and even if you notice their gear was no longer they weren't wearing any gear or any merchandise of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's a thing where they kind of
I mean, it's
no
kind of
Bullet
dead
Club
because Bullet Club's kind of dead in New Japan. They're the War Dogs now.
Yeah. With and like it's crazy to think about, but with so Tama Tonga wrestled his final New Japan match this last weekend, and now that Tama Tonga's out of Japan, there's no more original Bullet Club members like actively competing in New Japan. I think he's just like he works like a very like he barely wrestles now like because he's doing so much like training and stuff, like he's training for New Japan and he's doing his school. Like you kind of like now it's kind of like you maybe see him pop up like once or twice throughout the year.
But then he's no longer Bullet Club affiliate then because he's the underboss.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. Like right now with the Bullet Club, it's like you got the War Dogs and you got House of Torture, and then you got a couple of guys that are just kind of like in between, like you got Kenta and like Chase Owens. Like they're still kind of they seem to kind of still be like freelancers, but then like the War Dogs are kind of like the new top players of Bullet Club. Like it's all about the War Dogs now, and then you also kind of got like House of Torture.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, speaking of that, we got a new global champion in Nick Nemeth beating Dave Finlay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got a new TV dinner champion as well.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I don't know that I was expecting Tanahashi to lose the title so soon.
Ooh. Well, that happens with your TV dinner sometimes. It gets too hot, you drop it.
Yeah. But yeah, so and apparently like Nick Aldis said he's gonna be defending the global title at the next TNA pay-per-view.
What you mean, Nick Nemeth? Not all
Oh, what
this.
did I say?
You said all this.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Yeah, Nick Nemeth, yeah. So supposedly he said he's gonna be defending the title. So that's always nice to see. It's nice when companies can work together and you could see stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, that's good for him, you know? He gets to get recognized as a champion in the other company, you know?
Yeah. And then we had also at No Surrender, we had the No Surrender match where it was Moose versus Alex Shelley. I don't know. I kind of don't know. I don't know how I felt about that match. Like, it's kind of a weird concept to me. Like, where the match can only end when one of your representatives throws in the towel for you.
Yeah, that was the Moose versus Shelley match.
Yeah, and even Jade, when she was kind of doing the announcement for the matches, like you could tell she didn't even understand because she kept fumbling and like she had to stop and like recollect herself. Like like it was so confusing that like even like she was like confused by it.
But you know,
And
Giselle Shaw versus
we had
Jordan Grace was fine.
Yeah.
Match.
Josh Alexander and Simon Gotch, I think was a little better than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Plus, I like that.
Would you like
tied together him and Matt on commentary that they were a team at one time, like you said, in another life, on another world.
Would you like to see them have one more run as a tag team?
I wouldn't mind. Listen, I like the Vaudevillains.
Me too. They were a good team.
I think they got hurt that like WWE really didn't embrace what the Vaudevillains were the same way they were in NXT. And then they just kind of got lost in the shuffle at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, again, like, Vaudevillains was one of those teams where they did really well in NXT, but then, yeah, when they came to the main roster, they just got lost in the shuffle.
Vince didn't know what to do with them. Like, yeah, he didn't, you know,
Absolutely.
Instead of just like, listen, do what worked in NXT. That's what got him over. Just now take it to a bigger scale on the main roster. That's all. Because, like, essentially, like, to be honest, like, the Vaudevillains is akin to what Timeless Tony Storm's doing right now. That's kind of what should have got done for the Vaudevillains when they got to the main roster. Suspend that disbelief that every time they show up, shit goes black and white.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what should have been done with the Vaudevillains when they made it to the main roster. Took what was done in NXT and then beef it up more because now it's a bigger budget. Now you have more tech on your hands to do shit with. And like I said, the same way like they do with Tony Storm now, where it's like whenever they put the camera on her, she gets the black and white treatment because that's the gimmick.
Yeah.
They did a little thing the other day, which I'll give them credit, when she was standing side by side with Deonna Purrazzo and half the screen was black and white and the other half was still in color. That was clever.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice shot.
So now, like, imagine if they'd have done that kind of, like, imagine if WWE had done that for, like, the Vaudevillains. Like, give them like the black and white treatment, like the silent film. Like they were supposed to be like old timey wrestlers to begin with.
Yeah.
So like embrace that gimmick. Like NXT did a little bit of that themselves, but they didn't, like I said, but it was only most relegated to like backstage segments and shit. But like I said, if you'd have done it on the main roster with more of a budget, you could have done something there. Especially since you had the whole entrance with the guy coming out in black and white. Like, you had the entrance in black and white. Like, it should have been that way every time they showed up. Like, it should have been kind of their gimmick. But yet again, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into AEW, because they do have a show coming this weekend, and that is Revolution.
Yeah.
It is kind of a big deal because it is going to be Sting's, I guess, last match, you know, but, you know, never say never in wrestling, so.
That's always my mindset.
You know, one man's last match is another man's one more match, right?
Yep.
Alright, so what we got here?
Again, and this applies to even like outside of just wrestling, but never underestimate the power of a briefcase filled with money. You know, like I don't. Yeah.
Alright, so we got 9 matches on the card for this show. I'll start kind of with the lesser, which will probably be the Meat Madness match, where we got Lance Archer, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Who you got winning that in the Meat Madness match?
I'm gonna say Wardlow. I'm gonna say Wardlow.
I almost feel like Lance Archer needs a big win. But
Yeah,
more than
by
likely,
far he
probably
needs
gonna
a
be
win.
Wardlow.
Yeah, I'm thinking Wardlow, because if they wanted to get him to that world title scenario, then he's got to start winning some substantial matches. Like, you can't just keep beating like little guys every week, you know? Like, they got to start giving him some big wins. And I think I think putting him in a match against these two big guys, you know, I think it could be a good win for him. So I'm gonna take Wardlow. And probably Archer will take the pin.
I want Archer to win, but more than likely, I probably will be Wardlow.
Yeah.
Alright, we got FTR going up against Blackpool Combat Club's Moxley and Castiglione. Who you got?
That one's a little tougher, but I'm gonna say FTR. I'm gonna say FTR, and Claudio will take the pin.
I'm kind of gonna go the opposite with you on that one, man, because I think they've been kind of pushing Claudio and Mox as a tag team lately. And I think they might do something with this. Also, a quick note,
Yeah.
and I said it hasn't been said here on KliqBait Wrestling, Monday Night KliqBait Wrestling. Why is not the professor Serena Deebs in the Blackpool Combat Club? How have they not come and recruited her? She's literally everything they want in a person.
I think she'll get there. I think she'll get there eventually. Cause didn't they say something about they wanted to add a woman to the group? And like she would kind of fit so perfectly. Like she fits their vibe so well that I think she'll get there sooner or later.
Because she got a pretty hard promo the other night.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'll see you, Professor. I'll see you. But I'm gonna pick the BCC on this one.
Okay, I'll stick with FTR.
Okay. All right. Next we got Will Ospreay versus Kinoshka Takeshka.
It's gotta be Will Ospreay, right? Like he's not losing his first match as officially an AEW superstar. Like there's no way.
I don't know, man. AEW likes to go against the grain though sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They do like to subvert your expectations. So you know, it seems like maybe Will Ospreay is gonna be a babyface when he comes to AEW. So maybe it'll be a thing where like Don Callis will somehow cost him the match, and then that's how he'll turn. Maybe like that's how like maybe he'll turn from the Don Callis family and team up with Sammy
Yeah, that's
Guevara.
right. I thought Ospreay was in the Don Callis family.
Yeah, he is.
So technically, this is supposed to be an exhibition among teammates against stablemates.
Yeah. Yeah, technically.
Oh, then I'm picking Takeshka then. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I say Callis screws over Ospreay.
I could see that.
Since they've been trying to get over the whole Takeshka's, the alpha, and like he's being, they give him all these big wins against like top tier dudes. Get it over, you know what I'm saying? Ospreay's kind of another good feather in that cap.
Yeah. Yeah, I could kind of see that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with Takeshita. Okay, so for the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy will be defending the title against Roderick Strong of Undisputed Kingdom.
I really hope Roderick Strong wins this match.
I do too.
For multiple reasons. Because one, Roderick Strong has been criminally underutilized since coming to AEW. Two, the Undisputed Kingdom needs to start winning titles. And three, it's time for someone new to hold that title. Like, damn, like Orange Cassidy lost it and then very quickly got it back. But if you put those two reigns together, like it feels like he's had the title for a really long time. Like it's It's time to see someone new kind of get that title, you know?
I
I'm
agree.
I'm I'm re
I want to
I'm
see.
really
I would like to
hoping
see
that
Roderick win the title as well.
yeah, I'm really hoping Roderick Strong wins this match.
Cause like I'm over the Orange Cassidy show.
Same.
But we got now for the Continental Crown Championship, we've got Bryan Danielson taking on the King of the Bums, Eddie Kingston. I almost kind of think
I know leaning.
Danielson probably might take the title from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because again, I think Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston works better as like that underdog story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the story works better, whereas you know Brian beats Eddie Kingston, you know, and then Brian goes on a whole spiel about how, like, you know, like the first time Eddie Kingston beat him, it was a fluke, like Eddie Kingston wasn't good enough, you know, and then Eddie Kingston kind of has to go on that redemption arc to where he has to eventually work his way back up to earning a title shot, and then that would tie up that would tie it up between Kingston and Danielson, and then eventually they have that third match down the road, and Kingston can get it back. But I'm with you. I'm kind of leaning towards Danielson.
Alright, for the TNT Championship now, Adam Copeland out with an injury, which kind of sucks for AEW. Because he was they kind of put Collision on his back, and
I wonder, is he legitimately hurt, or is that just like they want to write him off for a little bit? I don't know, but yeah, either way, that kind
I
of
mean, can they
sucks
really
because
afford
you
to
know
write
he
him
was
off
kind of
TV though?
no.
So I would, this better be real then. If this is some storyline shit, then you kind of stupid here because you already had the match set up, but they changed the match because now it's gonna be Daniel Garcia taking on Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. Who you got?
I'm Christian Cage.
Yeah,
I know somebody's got to beat Christian Cage at some point.
but it
I
ain't
just
Daniel Garcia.
not now, not Daniel Garcia.
WWE is acknowledging Ole Anderson. Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm sticking with Christian Cage. Alright, so for the AEW Women's World Championship, we got Timeless Tony Storm defending against the virtuosa Diana Perazzo. Who you got, Matt?
I think probably Tony Storm.
Yeah, she's kind of hot right now, and I don't think they need to end her reign as of right yet. And Diana just got here.
Yeah.
She's got plenty of time to get a world championship. She ain't got to do it right off the rip.
I think that they're building something with Tony Storm and Mariah May. Like I think there's gonna be something there. So I just kind of don't see them taking the title off Tony Storm right now. And like you said, she's hot right now. Deanna just got there. Like Deanna Deanna will have her opportunity with the title, but she doesn't need to get it right out the gate.
Fucking cheat set. Stupid ass thing. Stupid ass thing. Yeah, I'm going with Tony. She got too much going for her. She got Mariah. She's got Luther. I love Luther. Luther's the best. It's a good way to use it. Good way to use it. Make him useful. Because he sure wasn't doing shit in Chaos Project.
No.
Alright, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships in a tornado tag, we've got the champions of Sting and Darby Allin going up against the Young Bucks. Now, this is also Sting's last match, so take that into consideration. But who do you got, man?
I think Sting and Darby will win.
Yeah, I think Sting's going out as champion, and either they're gonna vacate or Darby finds a new partner or something.
It's just like I don't see a scenario where the Young Bucks beat up Sting's kids and then they beat Sting in his retirement match. I don't know. I just don't see that scenario playing out.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
Either. Like, yeah, you already you beat him, you bloodied him, you beat up his kids, and you bloodied him. You wore his blood for a couple weeks, and then you're gonna beat him in his last match.
Yeah, like
that feels like a WWE move.
Yeah, like that's like I just don't see like AEW kind of ending Sting's run like that. It would just be a really weird way to end his run. Like if it was maybe just a match that was more like based off respect, then okay. But yeah, like you bloodied him up and you beat his kids. Like Sting is gonna have to get his revenge. They'll probably just vacate the tag team titles, or Sting will just give his title to Darby and be like, here, like pick somebody else.
Yeah, that's it. He'll just find a new partner.
Like,
or vacate the title.
yeah.
But I think it's just better hey, have him find a new partner and then lose it to someone else or somebody.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like didn't they make a big deal before about like Darby Allin and like AR Fox, like they go like way back or something? Maybe they could maybe put him with AR Fox, because again, like AR Fox is kind of not really affiliated with the Mogul Embassy anymore, so.
I'm sticking with. Sting will go out as champ. I don't see him losing his last match, because that would definitely give me Baron Corbin, Kurt Angle vibes if you do that. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cause look, I mean, let's kind of like just sidetrack real quick. At the end of the day, that whole having Baron Corbin beat Angle in his last match. What did it actually do for Corbin?
Nothing. And even like Kurt Angle to this day talks about how much he hated that match and how much he hates that was his last match. Like he's kind of very public about his displeasure for that match.
Yeah, and like I said,
it
didn't do nothing for Corbin. Corbin's back in NXT. Yeah, he's tag team champion, but he's back in NXT.
Yeah,
and he went a long way down to get to NXT. So like, yeah, don't do that to Sting. People already don't like the Young Bucks outright, outside of the gimmick that they're trying to do now. You don't want to put that. You don't want to. You beat Sting. You might as well say they're gonna get X-Pac heat, or they're just gonna make their new heat, which will be this Young Buck heat. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like if Tony Khan is anything, he's like a people pleaser. So I just don't see him. I just don't see him kind of being the type to be like, yeah, like it's gonna be really edgy and nobody's gonna see it coming. Like that's how we're gonna like end Sting's career. Like that feels like a Vince McMahon thing, you know, because Vince has no human emotions. But Tony Khan, I don't kind of seeing him be like that. Like Tony Khan, I think if anything, he's a people pleaser, you know. So yeah, that would just be a really shitty way to end Sting's run and end Sting's career. I think. So I'm sticking with Sting and Darby Allin.
Well, we got Grayson Waller going up against Cody Rhodes in the main event of Raw.
This is a sucky main event. I mean, I guess good for Grayson Waller. Like, good for him getting the rub in the main event. But he's again, it's another scenario where it's like he's obviously not gonna win.
Alright, but we got the main event for the AEW World Championship. We've got the champion Samoa Joe defending against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Who you got for this?
My mind says Samoa Joe, but my heart says Swerve.
My heart too says Swerve. My mind says Samoa Joe, and everything else says Adam Page shouldn't even be there.
I know. See, that's why I feel like Adam Page
like
is there.
He is the odd man out of this whole scenario the whole time, and the fact of how it began and how we got here is kind of like, it baffles me that no one's calling this out, because Swerve and Hangman had their feud, and I'm about to repeat myself because I said this before, but it needs to be repeated. Swerve and Hangman had their feud. Swerve beat him twice. No need even for a rubber. Beat him twice. We move on. Next thing you know, Undisputed Kingdom, they beat up on Hangman. We see a vignette in the back where Hangman's like, I'm looking for Undisputed Kingdom because they beat me up and I'm ready for a fight. But instead of going for anybody in the Undisputed Kingdom, not Roderick, not Mike Bennett, not Matt Taven, not Wardlow, not Adam Cole, none of them, he goes to Swerve. And then gets in Swerve's face talking a lot of nonsense. Now, during the whole duration of this thing till we get to this point, he has not one time, as many times as any of these men, a group of these men have shown up on AEW programming, he has addressed them. It's almost like he's scared of the Undisputed Kingdom because he hasn't confronted Wardlow. Wardlow was out there shooting his mouth off, didn't confront him. Undisputed, Roderick's out here having matches, the Kingdom having matches. You don't confront none of them. None of them. Even though these people put you through with windshields. None of them.
Yeah.
Are we all in Swerve's face? I'd almost say, are you stupid or are you racist? Because what is it? Bunch of white boys beat you up and you run to the black guy that beat you already 2-0. How does that make sense? And then all of a sudden, you now find yourself in a position to be in a title match when, like I said, it's only because you sat there and continue to feud with Swerve when even Swerve keeps reiterating, like, I'm done with you. I beat you twice. I don't have to fight you again. Not now. I just beat you twice. And it wasn't even like simple, like I cheated. No, we had to like actual like death match. I hung you with a chain. You poured blood. You poured your blood in my mouth. Like that's nasty. It's how you get Hep C. And now you back in my face. Like this is why you don't win the Booker of the Year, Tony Khan, because that shit don't make no sense. Why is Adam Hangman Page here? Why is he here? This should be a one-on-one between Joe and Swerve, like real talk. But somehow we in a triple threat. But like I said, I'd like to see Swerve win, but I don't think, again, Joe's kind of in the same category as Timeless. Like, he's still a fairly new champion. His reign ain't that long, unless you're trying to just get rid of him and you want to put it on somebody else. But, like, he just got the title. Let him have a little decent run with it. But, yeah, that's what I'm picking. Samoa Joe.
What if, what if Hangman is just there to take the L?
I mean, if he's there to take the L, then fine, take the L. But the methods of why he's there are still the dumbest ever, though. The methods are still stupid.
Yeah.
Because he still negates the whole Undisputed Kingdom, even though once he and everyone else found out who were behind the mask and who the devil was, he should have targeted them because they're the ones that beat him up. I mean, my God, the Acclaimed and the Bullet Club Gold united just for that purpose. But Hangman does nothing. Sure, have the Bang Bang Scissor Gang gone after Undisputed Kingdom? No. But it was the fact that they knew that they had more strength in numbers, so they wouldn't get fucking jumped by the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah.
To the point where they literally outnumber them right now. That's why they can't run up on them now. Because in the wrestling world, that you can't do that. Your baby faces can't outnumber your heels. It's either even or the heels at least have one person more than you. You don't normally have baby faces having more than the heel group. It's usually an even number. Like I said, Bang Bang Scissor Gang is 6. Undisputed right now is only 5. And one of the 5 is already in a wheelchair right now.
Yeah.
So
like the
they're already a man down. But like I said, but with that being said, with the 4 that are able-bodied, Hangman could have still got at them, and he hasn't. Like, why is he not fighting fucking Wardlow instead of Wardlow being in some meaty Madden smash? He did put you through a windshield, right? Did he not? Am I wrong on this? Did I watch the wrong show? Did I get Mandela affected? Because I could have sworn they put him through a car windshield. Big burly meaty man put him through a windshield. But yet, we over here...
Yeah, you're
here
definitely right.
Chasing Swerve. Ridiculous. Like I said, it just makes Hangman look dumb, in my opinion. It really does. Like I said, are you stupid or racist? Which one is it? Which one you want? Because like I said, I say racist because it's like, yeah, you chose the one black man because you didn't want to fight a bunch of white dudes. What happened? You scared of the white dudes? So you rather fight the black guy and the Samoan?
It's like he'll fight anybody except the white guys.
But yeah, that's the card for this coming Sunday. I'll be checking it out, enjoying some professional wrestling. Should be a nice long, lengthy show because you know AEW likes to go like 5-7 hours. Every match got to be 45 minutes.
We might still get some new matches. We might still get some more matches too, because you know we still got this week's Dynamite. We still got Rampage.
Yeah.
We still got Collision.
And I don't know what's in the buy-in show.
You know,
like I
there's
said,
still
AEW gonna give you at least 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours of pay-per-view over here.
Yeah.
So be ready to free up your Sunday evening.
Like there's still a lot of people that could end up on this card. You know, like Brian Cage and Hook have been feuding, so they could add that.
That sounds like more of a buy-in match right there.
Yeah, like I could see them adding that as adding that as the buy-in. You know, it seems like if anyone kind of saw Rampage, it seems like we've got a mixed tag impending. You know, so like Saraya and Zack Knight versus Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho, like in a mixed tag. Like they could put that on the buy-in.
Oh, also, since you brought that up, special appreciation for Harley Cameron pulling out the knifey spoony reference.
That was good. That was funny.
The slap on the titty for extra is like, yeah, like, you know what? That's funny. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that was good.
I see you played knifey spoony before. Should be good.
Yeah, she's funny. And I don't know, like we haven't seen Julia Hart in a while. Mm-hmm. And again, like this is where sometimes like AEW, this is where sometimes I'll agree, like AEW kind of drops the ball. Like, where's Miro?
Where is Miro?
Like you did the whole turn at World's End where CJ Perry turned on Andrade and joined with Miro, and then Miro beats Andrade, and then we haven't seen Miro since.
I don't know, man. They just they got a lot of talent that they do nothing with. Like, you created a whole show, and then these people don't show up. Like, sure, now you're getting to see Thunder Rosa, but like, how long did it take before they saw Thunder Rosa on Collision when that was supposedly supposed to be her show because of whatever beef with Britt Baker? Which, by the way, where's she at? Is she injured?
Yeah. Oh, maybe she's just taking time off to help Adam Cole.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, but it's just like all these people that were in place because of certain things, is like they never showed up, and you just been stuck with people like Julia Hart and Dark Blue.
Yeah.
By the way, did you catch Ring of Honor's show this week with the 2 out of 3 tables match with Athena and Nyla Rose?
Oh, I did.
Hell of a match.
Yeah.
Athena still going strong over there. Like the only saving grace really of Ring of Honor over there. Because Eddie Kingston you barely see on that shit. You might see the Kingdom once in a while on the show. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
where
you're not
I don't know
seeing.
where Kyle Fletcher is.
Supposedly he's having visa issues and he can't get back in the States.
And then where's Shibata?
Well, he's not even the champion anymore.
Wait, who's the pure champion now?
Wheeler Yuta,
Okay, well, where the fuck is you? Useless.
injured.
Oh, come on. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bro, so did I tell? I don't know if I talked to you about this or because I was watching MLW and man, a lot of things I need to catch up because what's his name? The first ever MLW champion again. Kojima.
Oh, Kojima?
Yeah, Kojima.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh shit,
Another.
Kojima. And he's the first two-time MLW champion.
Yeah, first and only two-time champion. Yeah, like MLW's been they've been putting on some good stuff, you know, like you got like Mads Kruger is back in MLW now.
Yeah, I think they just took out Jacob Fatu because I think isn't Fatu out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of gave him the ceremony. It's like, you're out of here. They body bagged him.
So you know, Kojima, you got Kojima as champion. You got like Raven is kind of back in the fold, so to speak.
Yeah, I saw that. They got some other dude as the open weight champion. I never seen him before. Some new guy running with Raven.
It's Ricky Shane Page. And then you got the whole thing with the World Titan Federation and like Azteca Underground, like they're kind of doing their things.
Yeah, like trying to take over and shit. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like I said, yeah, shit, big ups to Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm hoping Jacob Fatu show up somewhere, at least in like WWE or AEW somewhere. Even Impact. Not Impact, I mean TNA. My bad.
Oh, I'm sure he can go wherever he wants. I'm sure he'll go wherever he wants. Again,
You gonna show up at WrestleMania to help Roman Reigns?
I don't want him to go to WWE, but I don't want him to go to AEW either. I wouldn't mind seeing him go to TNA, because again, I feel like TNA, he could actually be more of a star in TNA. The thing is, if he goes to WWE, he's just another guy in the bloodline. He's just another henchman of the bloodline.
A filler match for Waller. They just in and outed him so Heyman could come out here with this talkie segment. You see this?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Jacob Fatu going to AEW, like AEW already has so much guys that they don't have enough time for them. They don't need to just add Jacob Fatu to that.
They jobbed out Waller for a Heyman talking segment.
Yep.
Roman Reigns. So what's gonna happen here?
Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, he wants to challenge The Rock. Oh, by the way, yeah, so Rock's gonna be on SmackDown, and apparently it's sold out there now.
Well, again, the Rock will do that, you know.
Yeah, it is The Rock, by the way. He's gonna beat up on his off-duty suspended police officers now. His goons. Gonna beat up on the goons.
It's funny to me that like Heyman thinks like, oh yeah, like 3 security guards, they'll have Cody's number for sure.
Yo, he just bust that dude in the face with the chair. Yeah, he just bust that dude right in the face with that shit. Cody's hunting the bloodline. Oh, strong words for young Cody Rhodes. He is endorsed, by the way.
I love Heyman pulling out 2 cell phones. Like, like he can't just call like one after the other, or he can't just do like a 3-way call. Like he's got he's got two phones in case he needs to call them at the same time. Oh god, it's funny. Like he's got one phone.
Two phones.
He's got one phone. He's got one phone specifically to talk to Roman, and then another phone specifically to talk to The Rock. Like, you can't. I can't call The Rock on the Roman phone.
Like, what do you think
Oh,
this is? Amateur hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that does it for Monday Night Raw, but that's also gonna do it for us tonight too.
It's like, just imagine, like, Paul Heyman's at home, and his wife hands him the cell phone, and she's like, "Oh, Paul, can you go ahead and order pizza?" It's like, I can't use this. This is the Chinese takeout phone. I need the pizza takeout phone.
Domino's.
Oh, Domino's. That's good.
Alright, man. We gonna call it for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Want to thank y'all for coming out, hanging out with us for a little bit. Definitely smash that like for yourself and subscribe if you're not already. Also, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about Monday Night KliqBait Wrestling. We'll see you back here next week. We'll go over all the happenings that is going to be Revolution and everything that's going to go down on Monday Night Raw. So definitely check in for that, Come hang out with us for that. Also, if you're a toy addict, join us at the Sanctuary on Friday for Spaghetti and Friends, because you know how we do things over there on Friday nights. So, also, Thursdays, ELW Rage Quit, because we are on the road. We are on the road to Bound for Bankruptcy. Okay? Bound for Bankruptcy. That's all you need to know. Bound for Bankruptcy. Boom. Snood versus Marked One. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Boom, the World Heavyweight Champion versus the World Television Champion. It's all going down April 4th. Bound for Bankruptcy, our 1 year anniversary, ELW. So we got all that stuff going down. So definitely wanna be locked in. But with that being said, we will see y'all cats here next week. Y'all have yourselves a great evening. And from Attitude 22, be your boy Smith. You got anything to say before we wrap it up, bro?
Thanks again for everybody being so engaged. I always love when the chat is like super engaging and participate. Like, that's always wonderful. And also, birds aren't real.
Alright. And make sure you always kick out. Thick Boys out.
We all need to work together to build a better life, to make what we feel. We have to make it real. We all need to remember that nothing in this ride comes for free. We have to make it what we want. 'Cause you and me and everybody gotta work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make it happen. Let's work it out. You've got to make it real. 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 We all know that life is harder. It gets harder. harder day by day. We can show that we are trying, but making sure that everyone can stay. You or me can depend on, no one else can do it right. I'm someone you can rely on, cause we're not giving up with how to fight. You gotta work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make it happen. Let's work it out. You've got to make it real. You got to make it real. You've got to make it real. You got to make it real. Real. Work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make it happen. Let's work it out. You got to make it real. You got to make it real. Got to make it real. You got to make it real. Real. You got to work it out, think about it. Work it out.